I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, yeah. Baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad. Chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious. I'ma go cause something, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes. It makes me go change into a better frame, into a better name. Society's insane, we all live for fame, yeah. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life. I don't really know what comes next. I'm just doing my best, even though I'm so stressed out. Everything just feels like a test that I fail, so depressed when I can't seem to get out. But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Fuck your lies, I'll do what I want. The gas in the back of the set, never let she's so bad. By thirst, I'm inspired by worth. I desire your worst, so you can just hide while I work. I ain't tired, you first. I'll write a second, third verse about the lies you go disperse. You never did shit, I know it hurts. Something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Fuck your lies, I'll do what I want. The gas in the back of the set, never let she's so bad.
Hard sports all plays. Hard sports all plays. Hard sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Hard sports all plays.
Welcome to College Breakdown. I am Ray Cruz on the All Sports All Plays Network, and also I'm featured on Jag Nation. We'll be coming on tonight about 9:30. We'll break down the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Houston Texans game, and then again on Sunday from 9:30 to 11 for the post-game reaction of the Jaguars in Houston. Also later on today, you'll see Red Kingdom, the Kansas City Chiefs. They'll be breaking down the Kansas City Chiefs versus Chicago. So stay with them, and then unscripted later on tonight. So that's all the covering up the ASAP, and also tune in to our touchdown crew who brings all the NFL pregame shows. Some so like the College Breakdown show. They do it on Sunday from 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So get with them and with Coach and Charles and the touchdown crew there. So get ready. And then we got wrestling with the Maverick later on Sunday night. And then you got the Jag Nation also on Sunday. So stay tuned to the ASAP Sports Network as we bring you the latest college football, NFL, combat sports, anything sports related. You got it. If you want a debate show, Real Talk is on Mondays and Thursdays at 9. I think it's either 8:30 or 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So let's get right to it here, ladies and gentlemen. My co-host, we're trying to get him on here, and hopefully he'll be on. Let me see if I can bring him up real quick here. I got to go to another scene real quick. Sorry about that. There we go. I got to get Dre in here. So let me get back to where we are at here, main host. So I'm going to get Dre in here. Here, Dre. Here, show stream here. Okay. I think we got him in here. So we're going to get ready to it here. We're going to bring him on here. So let's bring my boy here, Dre, on. All right, man. He's the Who's to Blame podcast. The man, the myth, the legend. Ex-veteran, everything else. The main man from St. Louis, Missouri. Hey, what else can I say about him? Oh, he has the hair, the style. He is profiling. He's like Ric Flair, you know. But bring it on in. How you doing, Dre?
What's going on, my man? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Oh, man, I cannot complain at all. Not one time at all. Beautiful weather. It's first day of fall, and it's Libra season. So I'm down with it. Down with it.
That's good. All down. Got it all.
How about you? How's it been?
That's good, man. It's been good. It's been good.
Let me bring myself back in here. Look at that, man. We got everything showing here now.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks good.
So
Like
let me see here. I think you.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
I think you can see it now.
we're getting fancy.
Well, yeah, it's pretty much fancy there, you know. Let me just get you straightened down here a little bit. There you go. See, I can bring you back into the box a little bit there. There you go. Look at that, man. You're all straight out in the box there, bro. Look at that. I can
That's what you did.
straighten you out a little bit there. So now I'm gonna
Yeah,
lock
yeah.
you in. There you go, man. Anyway, brother. So how's the weather out in Missouri for you today?
It's a little, probably getting the low 80s today, but it's been a little rainy, little spots, but nothing too bad. It's my type of weather. This is when men get to dress as men. No more shorts. We get to layer our clothing now. Put a scarf on. Put some swag with
You always gotta have some swag, man. You know.
it. At least that's what the kids say.
Yeah. Hopefully we get Hopefully I get your shirt. Hopefully to you soon. Hopefully.
I know it's coming.
So, but anyway, you know, college football season. We're now week 4. Week 4 here.
To the real people.
Yeah, the week 4 college
But to them
football.
people that count week 0, week 5.
I count it. I don't count. I count that as week 0 all the way. Now we're in week 4. You know.
Right.
So, but anyway, what is your take so far for the first 4 weeks / 5 weeks? If you want to, everybody else wants to count the beginning of there. But anyway, how's your take on the college football season right now?
That's a great question to start the show off with. I actually think it's going unscripted. It's not the normal conversations with the regular teams. We're hearing a different narrative about the game. I don't know if it's due to the portal rule, but we really know it is. But I like how the talent is spread out. It's not just in one region anymore. We're not just locked on the SEC anymore. We're not just looking at the pack anymore. It's all over the place, and I'm liking that. I like the new coaches that are out there. I like the way the plays are coming in, and I like the way the incoming redshirt freshmen or the true freshmen are handling the college football experience.
Yeah, I get you on that one too. But you talk about like Deion Sanders and the
Right.
and the Colorado. They're only expected to win, but maybe like 4 games at the beginning of the season. He's got what, 3 wins, 2 wins? 3?
Yeah, he's on it, man. I mean, when you played sports as a kid, I'm quite sure you didn't listen to every coach, but the ones you listened to, there's a reason behind that. Did you play better when you really connected with the coach? And when you get somebody that gets that ear, you hear everything. You work harder. You run faster. It just changes the whole dynamic of sports when you get somebody that understands you.
Yeah, I get true, and
Remember the days you played for a piece of shit coach? Just think about it. You look like you wasted time. That's wasted time. You didn't pay attention. You never heard anything. You never took anything they said seriously.
Yeah, I get you on that. That's something that we got really, if you look at going on to the season and stuff like that, you got Florida, you got Clemson now, not even ranked. You got Alabama's dropped out of the top 10 for the first time in 158 weeks. They're now number 13 in the nation. It's not everything. It's not scripted. I mean, Georgia struggled against South Carolina. You got Florida beating Tennessee. Tennessee didn't even run the freaking football. Like, they had the opportunity to run the freaking football. But, I mean, I don't know. What is the take of Tennessee going into the swamp? I mean, they forget their game plan, or they don't make no adjustments, or they just get scared of the swamp crowd?
I think it's intimidation. That crowd is different. I've been to the swamp twice. I've been there twice. That crowd is totally different than the Florida, Georgia crowd in Jacksonville. Total different crowd. That swamp, that's personal. That's the best way I can take it. If you didn't grow up challenging the hate from the opposing team, you're not going to deal with it very well.
Yeah, but I mean that's something that really you got to really look at, and you got to think about it too. Is that something about Tennessee going into the swamp? They had the advantage in running the football, and they went away with it. They wanted to go to these deep, long passes. It kind of reminds me of when Jacksonville stopped running the freaking football and throwing it freaking Hail Marys and throwing deep passes and get away from the game plan.
Don't let me get on my 2-point conversion rant, but go ahead.
But, I mean, to me, is it any – I mean, Tennessee hasn't won in, 9, 10, 11, 12 games, I think. I think it was a 12-game winning streak right now for Florida in the swamp. I think the last win they came in the swamp was Phil Fulmer, maybe?
T. Martin. I think T. Martin was the quarterback. That was his Heisman year.
Yeah. So it's been a while since they've been into that swamp area and really freaking thing. But then if you look at what's going on in the ACC, you got Duke. Duke's surprising a lot of people. I mean, they're undefeated right now. They got UConn today. I mean, to me,
you probably know this better than anybody. Duke always had a defense.
Yeah.
Always. They just couldn't move the ball offensively. Now they have figured out a way, and that defense has caught on to it.
Yeah, but even though they are my arch rival, college and stuff like that, but you got to be biased on here because we're analysts and stuff like that. But you got to take away some certain things. I mean, Elko has really turned on. It kind of reminds me of when Steve Spurrier was there. As a stepping stone, Steve Spurrier was there at Duke University. He stepped right into before he was there before he went to Florida. It was a stepping stone for him to get into the coaching business and stuff like that. Duke and Carolina really basically were a stepping stone team to go up to the next level. You're not really going to win national championship party at both schools. But Elko's then got himself into the coaching ranks. Now, can Duke keep him there for a long period of time, or is another school like an SEC school, could be Texas A&M, because he was at Texas A&M. If Jumbo Fisher right now is not doing what he needs to be doing, I mean Texas A&M lost
since he got all that money.
Yeah, so now Texas A&M lost to Miami last week. Now they dropped out of the top ranking again within 2 weeks. Because last year, in the third week, Appalachian State knocked them out of the top 25. So now,
you mentioned that about Jimbo Fisher and Steve Spurrier right there. You mentioned both, and it kind of reminds me of this. I think Steve Spurrier left Duke because he realized he had a coaching philosophy and it was working there. And through his eyes and coaching mindset, he saw a school and opportunity. Hey, it can work there too. I got this. With Jimbo, I think he got arrogant, winning the national championship. And then he said to himself, I'm getting up there in age. I'm seeing that curve before anybody else. Let me go get the bag. And what did A&M give him? The bag.
Yeah, that's something that really, you got to really look at too in these situations here. What we're talking about is at Duke University could be a stepping stone for Elko to go to another, a top echelon school. Now, do you see if Jimbo Fisher doesn't break the ship here in Texas A&M this year? Do you see they probably letting him go and then going out to getting Elko again? Because he was the defensive coordinator at Texas A&M before he took the job at Duke. So I mean, you can see what he's doing at Duke University. Now Texas A&M could come calling for him to come back to Texas A&M as a head coach. Do you see him leaving Duke, going to Texas A&M, or going to another Power 5 conference?
I see it this way. What Deion has done is going to change the whole outlook on going to get your next coach at a program that should be doing better than what they've been doing. And with a high-profile program such as Texas A&M, I could see them really thinking outside of the box. If Jimbo doesn't get them not to the promised land of winning a national championship, but knocking on the door, get in the conversation. But they always screw up, in October, early November? Yeah. But now they've screwed up at the beginning of the season to me.
That's true. That's really the aspect that you got to really look at here.
It happens. Coaches fail. That language is not going to carry over to every school anymore because the whole language and the dialogue with the student athlete has changed tremendously since the days of Jimbo Fisher being a household name, national championship. You can't coach, you can't talk, you can't recruit that way anymore. All of that has changed in a positive way. It's now finally on the side of the student athlete a little bit. They've moved the needle at least. It's like you can't catcall at a woman anymore like in the good old days. Them days are over. You got to move past that.
Yeah, it's something that you got to really look at here, and that's something that you got to really take in the effect that you got to really take in that account. For that is Duke really going to be able to keep a coach there for a long period of time? I ain't trying to be a thing about it, but if Matt Brown, is not old enough, I mean, he might be there for a while at Carolina, but you know, but Elko's younger, but he's got the hunger. But now he see what he did at Duke University. You know, last coach that did really, really well at Duke University was Steve Spurrier back in the 80s, and he went off to go to Florida. So now we got another coach. Cutler did pretty good. I mean, he's not like what Elko is doing right now. I mean, he kept Duke a steady ship. You know, but the last few years there, they went like 1-11, 1-0.
Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
Let's say you're running the Duke program and you're looking for the coach. What does Duke want to achieve in a 5-year plan? What do you guys want from your coach? What should the coach be able to do? 5 years at Duke.
Well, 5 years at Duke. I mean, shoot, first 2 years has been outstanding for Elko at Duke, but in 5 years, every university going from North Carolina all the way to Florida, all the way down to everybody wants to win a national championship. You know,
let's be realistic, Duke. So you want to win your conference, of course.
That's the main priority. That's the first priority.
And you want to go to a big-time bowl game. And you want to get a presence in the recruiting world. That should be the top 3 things. Find me a coach that can do that. And job is yours. I'm not buying you 5 houses. We've done that before. I give you 2 in 1 car. In a golf cart. That's it. But you got 5 years. That should be the realistic goal of Duke. Because I don't see in my lifetime looking forward and back to even fathom the thought of Duke University winning the national championship in football. Come on now.
They did back in 19.
I'm gonna get married a 5th time, Ray.
They did back. I think in Duke's record book, I think it's like 1954. They won a national championship.
Yeah, see, we weren't even here. Hell, my dad was 2.
Hold on. I got you beat on that one. Hold up. I got you beat on that. I think it was 1954. I think that's when Duke won the national championship.
My dad was 4.
My dad was 29.
Whoa, in 1954?
My dad was born in 1925.
Oh my God.
My dad fought in World War II.
Oh my God, Ray.
He was a Tech 5. He was a Tech 5. He was a Tech 5 in the Army. He got drafted.
Wow.
I'll tell you a quick story real quick. This is what they told me. My dad was on a tractor on his farm working with his dad. Freaking bunch of Mercedes-Benz shows up with Army recruiters getting out of it. And his dad told him, get off the tractor, go with him. You've been drafted. So, yeah, my dad was drafted for World War II. He was a Tech 5.
Wow. How long was he in?
He did 4 years, I think.
Jesus. Man, the next time I go to the building, the Veterans Memorial downtown, you tell me your dad's name, I'm gonna check on the wall. If it's on there, I'm gonna take a picture and send it to you.
He's not. He's not on there. I don't think he's on that thing because he didn't die in war or nothing like that. He came back.
Oh, my bad.
He came back.
54 years.
If he died, then I would never have been born.
That's true. That's true.
All right, let's take care of this. Let's take care of this. The top 25. Anything you see on this change on the top 25 besides seeing Alabama at number 13?
Hold on, buddy. What's our record?
I will get to it. Got to do the top 25 first.
Where I think it's going to change at?
Yeah. Do you see where Alabama's going to fall to number 13? Do you see anything? Do you see Georgia winning it all this year? Right now?
Again, right now, the way they're playing, no. I'm like 70% on Georgia right now. They haven't showed me that crisp. We know what we're doing defensively, offensively, special teams. I see confusion on the sideline with Kirby more than anything right now. But it's early. It's early.
Now, what team do you see right now as a clear front winner at the SEC? Is
USC.
SEC wide open? Is SEC wide open?
Yeah, it's early. I don't see no it's an old cliche. I don't see no dog that's trying to hunt over there. I just don't see it. I don't see that dog mentality yet in the FCC. It's a bunch of used to Katu stories. Oh, I remember the day, but now it's more like, boy, the FCC looks different now. That's what we're hearing.
Yeah, I mean that's something
Who
that
do
you
you
do.
see?
But SEC right now
Right now.
is wide open. Myself,
Yeah.
I mean it's wide open. I mean, right now you got to look at Georgia could take the East, maybe. Florida could. We could see what Florida can do, but we know that's on a neutral site here in Jacksonville, coming up on Halloween. So anybody can do trick or treating. Hollywood. So,
Don't make me start shaking.
you start seeing Hollywood and all that stuff.
Big
Halloween.
lights in the city, Paul.
Halloween and got all kinds of stuff there. So we got a lot of people following. Liam Bittman followed, Robert Scott's following, liking us. Got a lot of people following the show here on All Sports All Plays Network. Now, Dre, since you want to talk about this upcoming thing right here, let me bring it up here. Let me put it on the screen. There, can you see it?
Hold on. Make my adjustment. I got it now. Yeah.
You picked up 4 games on me. I was 9-game lead. You picked up 4 games on me. I'm 201, 51. You're 196 and 56.
Oh man, that's brutal.
So, yeah, I was a 9-game lead. Now I'm down to a 5-game lead. You picked 4 games up on me last week.
Okay. Way to go, Paul. Get it, Daddy.
Well, we got 16 games. We're going to break down out of 68 today. That's
we're
right.
We're picking 68 games today.
We're picking 68 games today, but we're breaking 16 out of the 68 games down. Here, there's a 3-hour show, so we have to break it down. I figure 16 games will give us that 3-hour break with the rapid fire in between to get into these games. So, unfailing do here. We're going to take a quick break on the All Sports All Plays Network. This is the College Breakdown. This is Ray and Dre. We'll be right back after these.
All Sports All Plays. All Sports All Plays. All Sports All Plays. 365, we're making up plays. We're talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Gracing the field, so tie the laces. All Sports All Plays. All Sports All Plays. We on top of our game. All Sports All Plays. All Sports All Plays.
This is the Funks D Streaming Network. Register to come on our channel at funksdnetwork.com.
Need me to slide over? Yeah. Okay. It's just me and the boys kicking it. College football Saturday. Hey, there I are. Okay. So good.
So copy this. Momentarily, we get right here
we get it.
momentarily. Picked wrong one.
Hey, you can't control electronics all the time. Technology works when it wants to. It's live and it's real. There it is right there. I woke up this morning like I'm playing football today. Hey, Captain Khaki Pants. Remind me, what did he get suspended for? It was a recruiting violation, wasn't it? Mm, mm, mm. Really, NCAA? Really? We talking about practice? We talking about a cheeseburger? Anywho, I think it's great that he's back in college football. Captain Khaki Pants, he's a stay in Michigan man, but I don't think there's really a threat to them losing this game. So they got to come out here to do it and just show that they've learned something this week in practice. It should be an easy win for Michigan. Should be an easy win for them. But welcome back, Captain Khaki Pants. Welcome back. Oh, they want to be on top of things now. Oh, okay, but not when Bo Schembechler did that. But okay. No, the only way I can see Harbaugh getting fired, he has to do something naughty. The one thing that no coach should do, but we know they do that. But no, I can't see that. No. None of those schools had nothing, no shot at beating Michigan. Rockhurst, come on now. Let's get this game over with. Let's get our seniors out this game early and save them for the games we need them. It should be a game like that by halftime. Mhm. That's trying to poke the bear. See, that's why teams get shut out. See, the media gets on top of it, the coaches get to speaking out of the box. Let's face it. It may be a close first quarter, but it's going to kick in before halftime. And halftime, it may be 32-0. Try to get some money, being greedy. Mm-hmm. Who did they play for that 3-0 win this year? Wow. Vitek is in a weird place right now. Weird place. I don't know. It's hard to replace a legend. And I hate schools. Well, I dislike schools that think the next person is going to replicate that. But anywho, good for Rutgers. See, that'd be a good matchup right there. That lets you know if you got it, you understand it, can we go further? That's that game right there. We can put the brakes on it or put the gas on it. Their defense. Right. See, at some point, I think quarterbacks do get in their head when they throw those picks. Like, why are you doing that? They either far ahead, they know they're better than the team that they're playing against, and they're being greedy. That's when that happens. Ill-advised throws. You did homework. I don't. Get in the mind of Dre Montez. Mhm. Because of who they played. You trying to save. I like schools that understand that because those late injuries hurt you in what, kids? The rankings. And what Michigan trying to do? Get in the conversation of being invited to the national championship. That's the goal there. So why keep my guys in the game? I'm up 36 that in the third quarter. No, come on out of there. Come on up out of there. Mm-hmm. No. See, that's spreading. That's showing some love. I would love to sit in on that defensive meeting. I would love to watch game film with the whole defense. If you try to get a little change. No, I got rid of the bookie. I start gambling online in a couple of weeks, man. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. But I do miss my bookie. My bad, Earl. I'm gonna see how this year goes. If it doesn't go the way I want it to go, I'm back on you, homie. Back. Much love. I got Michigan winning this game. And Michigan winning. It should be a easy win, but they're gonna do things out of the box, trying to show coach what they learned. I can see a big play coming up and everybody looking at each other. But if they play Michigan ball, should be a win for Michigan.
And I got to take you out of this one. Bring your body back. There you go. And you're inside your box again. And now
There we go.
Now we're gonna bring it. Can you see now? Tell me if you can see. Can you see the screen now? Everything.
Yeah, I can see it. Uh-huh.
Okay. I just want to make sure that I don't have to follow you every time putting the video. All righty, my friend. Number 4, Florida State Seminoles will go into the where Clemson calls it the real Death Valley. We know that LSU calls there the real Death Valley. Clemson fans calls theirs the real Death Valley. But which one is the real Death Valley?
Right now, neither one, the way both playing.
But anyway, is this the year that Florida State goes into Clemson and beats Clemson this year?
Yes, this is upset. Well, I'm not going to call it an upset. This is an expected win for Florida State. The way that program has turned it around to me in the last 3 years. They've completely turned that program around. Really, this year, they're showing me, hey, there's something going on down here in Tallahassee. Pay attention. So, yeah, and Dabo being stubborn is going to prove today that's what you get.
Now, if you're looking at this too, if you're looking at what we got right now is the ESPN matchup predictor is saying 57.4% for Florida State, 42.6% for Clemson. Now, my question to you is, everybody thought was the quarterback play of EJ Ugalea, last year.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Keckner, a new quarterback here for Clemson, Klubnik, he's not doing anything better. He started off showing flash, just like DJ did with Notre Dame. He showed flash last year. Now this year, he is struggling at the quarterback position. Is this the sign that shows? Because we know what DJ's doing at Oregon State right now. He is playing the lights out.
Right.
Showing that Clemson should have all of them tried to kept him a little bit longer, maybe. But the change of scenery for DJ, he is doing better than what he did at Clemson. So now, Klubnik is 71 out of 107, 693 yards, 8 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. But he's only beaten teams that are less standard to what Clemson was.
Okay.
I mean,
Here's
Duke beat him.
Now,
I mean, Duke set the stage on Clemson right at the beginning of the season. Mm-hmm. They punched him right in the mouth. Even though Clemson had some chances in that game, but Duke's turned them away. Now Clemson is struggling to get back into that recognition. They fell out of the top 25 for the first time under Dabo Swinney's tenure at Clemson. What does Clemson need to do today to control Travis?
I believe that Dabo didn't change anything when it came to the playbook for this quarterback here. And he's mad that he can't do the plays as the former quarterback. And the success of Clemson old quarterback, they found plays for him that make him look good. And Duke exposed what's going on with the quarterback. He gets rattled with pressure. So if I can spot that, Florida State definitely can spot that. He gets rattled up and makes bad decisions. Pick six, fumble, large loss. can't handle that 3rd and 12. That's what I see, and that's what I think Florida State's going to do to them. Put pressure on the quarterback. But I think Dabo is going to try to come out really quick, upbeat offensively, may try an early onside kick, something funky on special teams. He's going to go back to doing the trick plays other than playing straight up football. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And being in a quote unquote Death Valley, they're really going to need that crowd to get in the game with them. Sorry, A&M. Other people need a 12th man as well.
Yeah, so you see that situation there, and other things that you really you're talking about there too is Norvell. They have done a good job recruiting in the last first 2 years there, 30 years now.
Florida State?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
So now you got a quarterback now situation where he is playing out lights out. I mean, he's kind of be unstoppable right now. But what does Clemson need to? How does Clemson need to force him to stay in the pocket? How can he do that? Because the last few quarterbacks that we've seen, look at Riley, Leonard for Duke. He ran at will too at quarterback position. So now Travis, he can run them too. And Clemson's having problems right now with their defense is trying to stop that mobile quarterback because, Riley had big runs after big runs in that game. For Duke.
For the first time in a long time, I think Florida State has speed on offense. Not everybody on that offensive line is a fat guy. Thighs and ass. These kids got speed. So that offense is able to move that ball really quickly, running the ball as well as a RPO. And that confused a lot of defenses, especially Clemson. I can't see Clemson putting pressure on the quarterback. If they can maintain coverage, maintain covering the receivers, I could see. Then if they force Florida State to run all the time, if running is more than passing, it could be an even match game. But I think Florida State has watched enough game film this year on Clemson to see we rattle that quarterback, we're going to win this game.
Yeah, and if you look at it this way, now let's take a little bit of in on Clemson side. Will Shapley, he has 38 carries for 225 yards so far this season.
Mm-hmm.
I just Florida State try to control him because you got to take him away first. That's got to be the thing, that focal point. Duke took him away very early in that ball game, then made Klubnik try to beat him himself. Couldn't do that. So now you see the last few weeks, Will Shipley has ran the ball very effectively, but to lesser opponents. You got a number 4 Florida State team coming in now. They're back where everybody thought Florida State should be right now. Mm-hmm. It's in that top echelon of the ACC. It's between Clemson and Florida State. Is this time for Florida State to take control of the ACC right now? Is Clemson the team to beat in the ACC? Or is Florida State that team?
They're the name. They're the name to beat. And Dabo has that name. He won a national championship. He's had great success with the quarterbacks. He's the one. This is the one. I bet there's been a poster of him up, a face of him in the locker room of Florida State. Intimidation. Let's go out there and show us, the naysayers, that we're Florida State. We're here. This is the game for them. And I think it can be done.
Yeah,
this is the right time to beat them.
If you look at it right now, the game, Florida State comes in at 3-0, 1-0 in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Clemson comes in 2-1, 0-1 in the ACC. The loss only to Duke University, the 0-1 at the beginning of the season. This game is on ABC. The line is Florida State by 2.5, according to all the sports prosecutors and
What's
Las
that line
Vegas.
again?
2.5.
Put me down for me. Florida State. Okay. Gotcha. Go ahead.
Now, this is surprising. The series is Florida State leads 20-15 over Clemson right now in the head-to-head competition of the history. Florida State has put in their early hopes of the ACC title, college playoffs berth on the line at Clemson. The Tigers, who began the year ranked 9th, were a preseason favorite to take their 8th ACC crown in the past 9 seasons, they can revive those hopes with their 8th straight victory over the Seminoles.
When
That's
the last
what's on
time
the
Florida State played at Death Valley? When the last time they played there?
They played at Florida State last year.
Did they beat them last year?
Clemson beat Florida State last
year. That changes the whole perception right there. But this is a much worse team this year to me, I think, with Clemson. They don't look as crisp. I'm taking Florida State this year.
Let me go to Google. Last time Florida State beat Clemson. Let's see here. When is the last time Florida State beat Clemson? Florida State last beat Clemson on September 20th, 2014, when the Seminoles, then ranked number 1 in the country, captured a 23-17 victory in overtime.
Woo! The good old days of college football.
How many years in a row has Clemson beat Florida State? The largest victory in the series came in 1993. Florida State 57-0. Longest winning streak, Florida State with 11 from 1992 to 2002. Clemson right now is on a 7-game winning streak from 2015 to present.
93, that was Charlie Ward, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yep, I was in Adak, Alaska last time, and that victory happened. I was stationed in the cold all year round. Everybody thought I was an Eskimo. But anyway, these are some of the key matchups here. You got to look at Florida State, Jordan Travis versus Clemson's defense front. Travis has threw a scare into the Seminoles fans when he took a hard hit and missed a couple of series in the 31-29 win at Boston College. But we know that victory, that score is going to be because of the hurricane winds conditions that were our Boston College at the time last weekend. This is a different animal. You're going into Death Valley. You got the crowds going to be rocking, even though Clemson could be down this year. You're still going to have a sellout crowd. They're still going to be rocking. They're still going to take that bus around to the thing, come down the hill. They're going to try to scare you. As Clemson football entrance kind of reminds me of the Undertaker's entrance. The slow walk to the fast running down the hill. Now, if you're the other team, look up the hill, you got all these orange people sitting up on that hill, and you come charging down the hill, and Devil's going to come full sprint. You gave one time that Devil's going to trip. He's going to have a stampede all over.
You have to admit, Clemson, South Carolina games are fun, though. The tailgating is fun there. You have to admit that.
I don't know. I've never been. That's one thing I take it off my bucket list there,
It's a fun crowd.
But Carolina does go to Clemson this year. I might try to see if my schedule works for the Jaguars and them. I might go up there. It's only like a 5.5 hour trip from here.
That's nothing. You can do that 1 hour.
So, but the other key players for Florida State is the defensive end Gerard Verse. He chose to pass up the NFL, a likely first-round selection for a return to college to chance at the national championship year. He had 4 tackles, including 1.5 behind the line of scrimmage in the win at Boston College. But look at Clemson's other end is cornerback Nate Wiggins. He's got things started for the Tigers with a 46-yard pick. 6 against Florida Atlantic. Quarterback Casey Thompson. Just 4 snaps in a 48-14 win. Clemson's win. Wiggins will have a bigger job ahead in marking talent. Seminole wide receiver Kenyon Coleman and Johnny Wilson. Johnny Wilson's that big 6'7" tight end.
What was on their mind when they named him?
Johnny Wilson, man. Johnny Football. You know. But if you look at this if you look at the facts of the thing here, Florida State has won its past 9 games since a 34-28 loss at home to Clemson in 2022. That's the longest current streak in the ACC. The Tigers' win would mark their highest ranked victory since defeating number 2 Notre Dame in 2020 ACC title game.
Ooh, that was a fun game there. It was fun.
It's kind of hard to say, it's kind of hard to believe that Clemson is looking all the way up to Florida State, and they were ranked number 9 in the season, ahead of Florida State.
Right.
Preseason. Now they dropped out within the 4th week of the polls.
But that Duke game really hurt them.
Correct.
Yeah. So the expectations were high early on Clemson, and everybody knows that.
Now I gotta. If Duke keeps winning like they're doing, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Say Duke drops maybe 2 or 3 games here and there, but if Duke keeps winning and gets a winning record, and if Clemson turns themselves around and that's the only loss they had, just taking the hypothetical, does that put Clemson back in that title picture, back into the playoff, in one of these 8 teams playoffs here?
We had this conversation last year about when you should lose. If the expectations are high on your program, it's better to lose in August and September than it is October, especially November. And if you're Clemson and you lose to Duke the first game of the year, it's okay. But now you got to prove to everybody you've gotten better since then. And I don't see it. I don't see it. They look nervous. There's confusion on the sideline, as I said. He's not himself, his facial expressions. He looks like a spoiled child, but it's at the same time, we told you so. There's nothing wrong with the portal. Nothing. We get it. You're a hell of a recruiter, but hey, it's not all about you anymore.
Yeah. And this is an interesting tidbit here. Florida State did not allow a tackle for a loss in the win over Boston College. That's the first time for that since 2012. Clemson has won 4 times at home against a top 5 opponent. That was Georgia in 1981 and 2013 versus Florida State in 2003 versus Louisville in 2016.
They beat Herschel? Wow.
Yep. 1981, yep.
Yeah, Herschel was there.
Yep. So, my friend, we're getting to the point where we got to pick teams. Who are you going with?
My favorite part of the game. I'm going Florida State. I don't want them to play this game like it's homecoming, everybody, girlfriend there and their grandparents and both parents. Don't play that game that way. Do what we've been doing all year. Let's get better each week. Clemson, on the other hand, they playing this game like everybody in that game, all their girlfriends are there that cheated on them, and they're mad. They got to come out there like that. Instead, they're not going to come out with that. If Florida State loses this game, it's their fault. They got to go out and play this game quarter by quarter.
Oh, my friend.
That's a cliche, but I'm going to stick with it. I got Florida State, not in a big win, but a convincing win. A convincing win.
Not so fast, my friend, taking that Elite Corso's page there, my friend. I'm going with Clemson. The fact is, Florida State is going to play Florida State football, but Florida State's also got that temperament of one game too high for them. Looking at circling, it could be overhyped, and they could do some sort of what Tennessee did at Florida. So the mystique of Death Valley. Sometimes that scenery, all that stuff, the run down the hill, the tradition, the pageantry, the crowd. The crowd knows it's going to be very, very effective up at Clemson. And that silent counts. If you're not on the same page, it could be a lot of turnovers, a lot of mistakes. I think Clemson could win. It will be a hard-fought victory, but a field goal win by Clemson. That's my prediction for the day.
Hold on. Before we move on, if I'm Florida State and I'm bringing them out the tunnel, this is what I'm telling everybody. Don't look at them. and don't listen to them. Let's go. Because it's going to get ugly and nasty when they come out the tunnel because the expectations are high. Look at me. I got a new car. Look at you. I moved on. I got a new girlfriend. I finally made it. That's how they're going to.
You know, I played sports in high school and stuff like that. We played the arch rival high schools. You get pumped up. Sometimes you get yourself over pumped up, and you get in the game. You get in the game, then you lose your focus. And I'll tell you what my coach used to tell us, and it was so freaking funny though what he told us was, we're going out to play our arch rival high school.
Uh-huh.
They have beat us. This is my first year there in high school. They have beat us 75 years in a row. None of the games were close, except for 1 year. 1 year was close. I was
You say y'all won 75 games in a row?
They won 75 games against us in a row. Our rival high school. Yeah. That's before we got there. The closest game they ever played was probably number 65, was about the closest one. They won by a field goal.
Right.
But get to the point here. Our coach looked at us. He said, we're playing the school. We know y'all are pumped. You know your physicality. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to tell you to your face like a man. We're going to lose this game. That's what he told us. He says, we're going to lose this game. I'm going to tell you why. You got this guy over here is hitting his head on the thing because he's too pumped up. Y'all got your mentality think you this is gonna be your year to win.
Right.
He says, don't do that. Go out there and act like you're gonna lose. Show them that you're gonna lose the game. This mug told us, I don't want to hear no noise when you walk out. Nothing.
Click, clack.
I want y'all's head to be bowed down like you're gonna lose this game coming out.
Take me there, Ray. Take me there.
We got there. First play of the game. I was starting the defensive end. First play of the game, quarterback comes rolling out of my side. I hit him. Knocked the ball out. Picked the ball up and scored a touchdown.
Scoop and score.
I hit him.
Did the crowd go nuts?
I hit him. My other defensive end guy picked the ball up and ran it back for a touchdown. And it just went downhill and stuff like that. And the coach looked at it and says, y'all still going to lose this game. And that's what he told us the whole game. He said, y'all going to still lose this game. Next thing we know, by halftime, we were up 45-0. He said, you're still going to lose this game. He said, the whole time, even in the dressing room, he says, y'all going to lose this game. And he says,
that's a good coach.
He said, he did that the whole time. He's like, fourth quarter, we're up 65-0. He said, it's 2 minutes left in the game. He says, y'all still going to lose this game. I'm looking at him like, what are you talking about? This dude said that the whole time, and we found the score was 75-0. So the 75 years he beat us, we beat them 75-0.
Where did y'all eat at that night?
Oh, we ate at Golden Corral that night. All you can eat Golden Corral.
If somebody didn't take a cheerleader home that night.
And that's before the buffet. That's before the buffet. That's before Golden Corral was the buffet. That's when you had to go to Golden Corral and you had to order, and you go to your seat and they bring you food to you. That's back in the day. That's back in the day.
That's when women thought you had money. You take them to Golden Corral to eat. Oh, he liked me.
And you go up, you get your tray, you go up, you order your food, and now you got the young people here, and they be like, "What the freak are you talking about? Buffet? Golden Corral's buffet? No, this is before the buffet. This is when you had to walk around and you get your order and stuff like that. This is back when your dad looks at you and says, "You can't get that big steak up there. That's $15, $20."
Well, you better get over there and get that.
Yeah, but I mean, we know in college football, you get too hyped. Sometimes it can backfire on you. You lose your mentality. You lose with your containment.
Mm-hmm.
You might have the team that can beat you on paper, but you got to go out and play the game. I think Debo's got them minds a little bit set here. Going back to that Duke game, probably telling them, "Hey, look, y'all can't take the game. Y'all lost to Duke. Now you got to take each game now and be a stepping stone. This could be a stepping stone for Debo and Clemson to turn their season around." Here, I think they can make the statement here today. That's why I said I think Clemson's going to win, because I think Florida State is going to do something that it's going to you're going to scratch your head saying how they lost this game.
I think that's why coaches get so mad across all sports, That's not what we talked about. What are you doing? But when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, when you're supposed to do your job, you don't see the coach doing. They're not smiling. They're just like this and just talking to their coordinators. But the moment a kid gets out of character, what the Elijah? We just talked about this. Hakeem, what you doing? Todd, get over here.
All right, let's move right along here. We're moving right along in the thing here. We're not got to a point where we do a rapid fire yet. So we're going to go to our next game here on the tab. Our next game will be the Oklahoma Sooners versus Cincinnati Bearcats. The new welcome to the Big 12. Get you back in here in the right spot. There we go. There we go. Getting you. Hey, look, editing on the fly. That's what I call it here. I call it edit on the fly.
Okay.
You see what we do. You see how we put everybody into the screen. It looked like it was on top of the screen. Next thing he's on the bottom of the screen. Hey, look, man, you got to do this on the fly. But anyway, you got to look at this situation here on this situation. Cincinnati is now coming out of the American East.
Yeah.
Mid conference to now a Power 5 school. They took the Louisville coach, who used to be at Appalachian State, went to Louisville. Now he's at Cincinnati because Finkel went all to Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't the same Bearcat team that Luke Fickell had the last 3 or 4 years. This is a totally different team. Oklahoma, on the other hand, has now got the defensive coordinator last year from Clemson. Had an okay season for Oklahoma, not an Oklahoma standard season. Now Oklahoma is back into the rankings of number 16th in the nation. Mm-hmm. Bruce Venables got that defense playing a little bit better this year. And the offense is now catching up a little bit too. How do you see Bruce Venables taking on the Cincinnati Bearcat team, who has the same look that Appalachian State had back into the time when Soloway took them up to Michigan in the big house and they pulled that big upset? Appalachian State did. This is the exact same coach. Can he do the same thing with the Bearcats, go into Oklahoma? Well, then we're actually playing in Cincinnati this year. Can he take a home victory this time against Oklahoma?
What's Oklahoma's record?
Oklahoma's undefeated right now. They're 3-0. Cincinnati's 2-1.
Okay. I think Oklahoma is playing like a child who grew up with both his parents, but daddy left and moved on and married another lady. And they're mad that their dad left. Lincoln, I believe in Riley. And they're trying to show now the college football world, the naysayers, hey, we over it now. Let's get back to playing OU football. This could be that game. I don't want them to take Cincinnati lightly because Cincinnati moved out of that conference for a reason, and they have the right coaches in place. But those kids in the same situation too, as well. Coach left, moved on. Let's get over it and get back to playing football. Let's show everybody we belong in this Power 5 conference now. So it's like a meeting of the minds with this matchup today. But I think this is a great matchup for OU to come back in the football conversation.
Well,
but it's early.
Yeah, if you look at this situation here, if you look at what surprised me about these two teams are they're very equally matched on the team stats. Oklahoma's averaging 534 yards total whole offense. Cincinnati's averaging 525.3. But what surprised me out of the whole deal is Oklahoma is 358 yards passing to 176 yards rushing their offense. But Cincinnati is a balanced attack of 286 passing and 239.3 yards rushing.
Okay.
But look on the other hand, now Bruce Venables is a defensive coach. Their defense is a whole lot better than it was last year. They only given up 289 yards. Cincinnati's given up 307 yards on defense. Oklahoma has only given up 80 yards on rushing defense. Cincinnati's rushing offense is 239 yards per game.
Damn.
Now, On the other hand, if you look at this situation here, Cincinnati is giving up 197 yards, 0.7 passing, and they only giving up 109.7 yards rushing. Oklahoma's passing defense is worse. They're giving up 209 yards passing. So
That's a big play too much.
the problem is here, if you look at the last 5 games, including the 2 games, the bowl game against FSU, 35-32. They lost to Texas Tech, 51-48 in overtime. They beat. Now this year they started out with Arkansas State at 73-0. Then they came up to SMU to won 28-11. Then they beat Tulsa 66-17.
Okay.
Now, this is the first Power 5 school they have played this season.
Okay. That's what I said at the beginning when we started this conversation. This is the game for OU to say, hey, here we go. Let's get back to the OU standards. Boomer Sooner. Let's go.
Now
that's where I think they're at.
Now, if you look at the running here, how do they slow down Kigner, the running back, who is leading the rusher for Cincinnati at 47 carries, 289 yards, and 2 touchdowns so far this year? How do they slow him down?
I don't think the concentration is on stopping the run with Cincinnati. I think the concentration is more on don't let the big, deep play beat us. Because defense going to do what they can do stopping the run. The numbers already prove that. Defensively, they know that up front. If we keep doing what we've been doing all year, and let's go coach that we understood what happened in practice and in game film, let's stay there and stay focused. Let's put them in a disarray. Put them out of character. Turnover city. The stopping the run, I don't think that's going to be a problem. I know Cincinnati has a good running back and all that, but if it's not getting, if you keep them in a 2nd and 8, 3rd and 7, you've won that possession. You won that.
Right. So if you look at that situation that you're talking about there, that's a very significant thing there. It's like now, on the other hand, how does Cincinnati slow down Gabriel, the quarterback? Because right now, Gabriel, he was a transfer out of UCF last year. He has now gone 66. Listen to this. He is 66 out of 80 with 905 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 1 interception so far in three games.
He's only had what the defense is giving him.
Now, the only interception came, I think it was against SMU in that ball game.
His fault? Was it his fault? The receiver? Was he being greedy? Or did the defense just make a good play? It
was a defense, I think, made a great throw, but a defense guy cut in front, basically.
Okay. Coach, I didn't see him. My bad. I ain't see him, Coach. No need to give me the tablet. I saw it. My bad.
Now, if you look at this situation here, you got 2 wide receivers. You got one for Cincinnati and Henderson, who's got 20 receptions, 299 yards, and 1 touchdown. But on the other hand, Anthony is a big play guy for Oklahoma. He has 14 receptions, 254 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Okay.
So
he likes to spread the ball out. I like that.
So, but Gabriel, he is a passing quarterback, but he can be a dual threat quarterback too if you leave him open. But Venables said that in the beginning of the year, he don't want him running as much because he got injured last year. And that kind of do in a little bit of due process for Oklahoma towards the tail end of the season. So they got to keep him healthy. I think their offensive line is a little bit better than what it was last year. I think this is all straightened out. But how does Cincinnati get the pressure on Gabriel to force him out of his rhythm that he's in right now? He's in a terrific rhythm.
See, that's the thing. When you think you have a dual quarterback stop, don't forget the receivers know that as well. They know the warning signs when they've lost the play on the offensive line. So that leaves the middle of the field wide open sometimes because the linebackers get greedy. If they don't stay home, that's a first down, probably even more. And the slot receiver is big in those situations with a dual threat quarterback, whether they stay in the pocket, RPO, or you put pressure on them and they decide to get rid of the ball at the last time. Either way, you're putting yourself in a 2nd and 3. You're not putting yourself 2nd and 10 when you have a dual threat quarterback. Don't give up the big play over the middle, Cincinnati. Linebackers, we've talked about this. One of you stay home and one of you read the coverage, i.e. either blitz or cover someone, but one of y'all need to stay put.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, though. And this is an interesting tidbit, too. Venable knows this year's Big 12 opener will present its own challenge, particularly when facing a Cincinnati defensive line that boasts an AP first-team All-American defensive tackle, Dante Polawan. So Cincinnati's got a defensive tackle, All-American. Do they try to force a double team on him to try to keep him at bay? Or do they let the center single up on him?
I'm quite sure the center said, I got this, coach. The moment he gets beat, then the double team comes in. But I'm not going to let one player cause a disarray up front. Not going to do it.
And this guy has a tendency to call havoc up front, and sometimes the line don't get their assignment correctly. Now, Oklahoma does a little bit different than most teams. Most teams let their center call out their line coverage on the blitz and stuff like that.
Yes, they should.
But Oklahoma don't allow their line to do that. It's more up to the quarterback reading the blitzer first, calling out the calls for the offensive lineman, and then he changes the plays to everybody else.
That's a lot of time, Ray. Come on now. Hurry up.
Hey,
that's a lot of time.
That's the offensive coordinator.
What's college rules? What you get 5 seconds to talk to the quarterback in the head?
No, you get
12 seconds.
No, in college it's all the way up to the point where the quarterback gets ready to call the cadence. They have to shut it off when they call the cadence. When the quarterback starts going to cadence, they cut the headsets off. I'm gonna
turn the volume up today on that game. I'm gonna turn the volume up on the game. Watch that. I'm gonna pay attention to that. Good point out there, Ray. I like that.
So
not the center calls the snap count and calls the play, the offensive setting, but the quarterback. I like that. Tackle.
Yeah, it's something about the cadence where he calls a certain number out and he tells the offensive line who they going, what they playing, what they're gonna block, how they're gonna scheme it, stuff like that. It's just the first call that he makes out of his cadence. Is letting the offensive line know which one they got to do and where the play is going. Cincinnati. Now, if you look at this, Oklahoma and Cincinnati have been among the winningest program in college football since 2018.
I can see that.
The Sooners and the Bearcats entered the season as two of the only 7 teams who have won at least 50 games over that span. So
something's missing there. Something's missing. No big bowl games or losing the big moment.
While Cincinnati looks to bounce back from its first loss in 17 years to an in-state rival in Miami of Ohio and show it belongs among the Power 5, Oklahoma is looking to finish its stint in the Big 12 on a high note. This season marks the last for the Sooners in the conference before they move to the Southern Eastern Conference next July 1st. So, does Oklahoma have a chance of winning the Big 12?
It's too early to tell, but right now they're looking impressive. But this is the matchup. It's still early, but this is the game they need. This is the game they need. No mistakes, which sometimes Oklahoma gets a little greedy. We've seen it before, especially in the second half. But if everyone stays focused and stays disciplined, this is a winnable game for OU.
Now, if you look at this situation here, Gabriel played at UCF. UCF was in the same conference with Cincinnati. UCF, he threw for 540 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions in 2 games against the Bearcats in 2019 and 2020. But Gabriel threw 3 interceptions in his last visit to Cincinnati at Napier Stadium in 2019, including a pick 6 to Cincinnati freshman quarterback Hamon Sauce Gardner.
Oh, Sauce Gardner. First of all, I love the whole UCF story, the way that program came out of nowhere, transformed, had everybody talking about, I can't believe this is UCF. But at the same time, I like this transfer move for this kid. He knows the defense. He can probably pick up some things that he probably pointed out in game film this week. But again, it's about poise, not being overconfident, and taking what's given to you.
And now let's fast forward to the present. Gabriel leads the FBS in completion percentage of .825. He ranks second in pass efficiency at 220.4 this season. He has set a single game school record for a completion of .903 by going 28 of 31, 421 yards, and 5 touchdowns last week against Tulsa. Gabriel was named the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week. He's in rhythm. He's in rhythm. Now, to get him out of rhythm, you got to force him. You got to get your pass rush in there.
Right.
Cincinnati's this year's pass rush has been, let's go days ago, not being efficient, not being consistent. Is this one of the games that they got to be consistent in to get him out of his rhythm?
That's what everybody's trying to do in a matchup like this. When you're trying to prove you belong here, you want to move further. You're trying to get in that conversation of being in that mention of being in a big bowl game or the national championship conversation. OU is mad at themselves. Players that have moved on, players that are there now. The expectations on OU, even when Homeboy used to be there, did not meet the eye of perception when it came down to being gut punched or hitting them out. OU expectations are very high. And if they win this game, okay, we'll turn our head. Okay, we're paying attention now. But don't get carried away.
Yeah, I look at that. Look at something sort of like that too. The game is in Cincinnati. It's going to be raining conditions, 69 degrees. Oklahoma's favored about 14 points. The over and under is 57 points. Capacity crowd could be up to 38,088 people.
Give me OU. Okay.
And the odds were picked by Caesars Sportsbook. That's coming out of Caesars.
She's a home now.
So, my friend, we're getting to the point where we need to pick these two teams. Are you going to go with number 16, Oklahoma, or are you going to go with Cincinnati pulling the upset at home?
I'm going to go with Oklahoma. Deep in the heart of OU. Boom, sooner.
Yep, I'm going with Oklahoma, too, on that. All right, Army versus at Syracuse at 12 o'clock on the ACC channel network. Who you got?
Give me Syracuse.
Going to take the Orangemen. I'm going to go with the Army Knights because last week, I went pretty good with the Air Force Academy, so I'm going to go with Army on this one.
Okay.
Going to Syracuse and pulling the upset there.
You picking Army?
I'm picking Army.
Okay.
Going into Cuse. Going up to Syracuse. All righty, my friend. Let's break down the next game here. Drum roll, please.
Where'd I go? Dewey. Well, to my fan base. As I say to my Auburn people down there in Alabama, don't take this game too highly, but you should reminisce and think about the days of we were them Auburn Tigers. And let's go out there and play that game that way. This is the matchup they need. It's a lot of matchups like that today. A lot of matchups made up like that today. But Auburn should beat A&M because Jimbo is another one of those guys that doesn't want to change his ways, and the game is evolving, but he went and got the bag and chased the bag, as he should. But at the same time, Auburn is not the same Auburn they used to be. And the expectations of the coach and the name has not met up to the naysayers' eyes, so to speak. So I can see Auburn challenging to win this game. I'm going to pull for Auburn to win this game, but I'm going to try to figure it out as we're having this conversation. It could change by the end we get to the final blow, but I'm picking Auburn right now. They playing in College Station?
Yes, they're playing in College Station, playing in Texas A&M.
Uh-oh. Let me change that pick. Let me go A&M.
Oh, we ain't got that part yet.
Okay.
We got some more questions. We're breaking down. This is
Okay.
one of the 16 games we're breaking down. So, we got. All right, man. If you look at the quarterback situation for both teams, you got Auburn's quarterback is Thorne, who is 43 out of 63 for 517 yards and 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Weidman for Texas A&M is 74 out of 105 for 909 yards, 8 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Now, if you look at both running back situation here, the quarterback is leading Auburn in rushing for 22 carries to 140 yards with 2 touchdowns. And Daniels on Texas A&M side is 34 carries for 149 yards and 2 touchdowns. But this is what sets them apart right now. Bear is the leading receiver for Auburn with 14 receptions, 174 yards, and 2 touchdowns. But the big play guy for Texas A&M is Stewart, who has 19 receptions, 257 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So now, if you look at this thing too, if you look at what ESPN has put out there, ESPN is saying 66.9% Texas A&M will just beat Hughes Freeze and Auburn at 33.1%.
I love when you give me the numbers. At first, I was going with Auburn in this matchup. And the more and more I think about that 12th man and what College Station mean to those kids and those players, it's kind of that game where they need to put their foot in Auburn. I don't see it as a blowout. I'm not going that far. But I can see Texas A&M trying to get out there fast and in a hurry. And if they see the opportunity to put their foot on their neck, sorry, kids, do it.
Now, if you look at this situation here, Auburn's offense is averaging 428 yards per game. Texas A&M is averaging 467.0 a game. You want to break it down, passing, Auburn Tigers 212.3 to Texas A&M 337.3. Rushing for the Auburn Tigers 215.7 to 129.7 for Texas A&M. But if you look at their flip it around to their defense, Auburn's defense is only giving up 264 yards total defense, 298.3. But Auburn's pass defense is only giving up 155 yards passing through 3 games to Texas A&M 200 yards per game. But rushing, Auburn's giving up 109 to Texas A&M 98.
Okay.
But if you look at what Auburn has played so far this year, they played UMass 59-14. They barely beat Cal 14-10. And they beat Sam Houston 45. They beat Sanford 45-13 in their last game.
No credibility.
But if you look at Texas A&M, Texas A&M started out beating New Mexico 52-10. They lost to Miami 48-33. They beat University of Louisiana Monroe 47-3. That's their last games there this year. So now,
the mentality. Go ahead.
So now, Jimbo Fisher, you're gonna really look at it here. It's all Texas A&M's favor right now. You look at it; they got a lot of pressure on them. They got to come back from that defeated Miami to beat University of Louisiana Monroe. Now they got a SEC matchup with Auburn,
right?
And Hughes Freeze is a new coach. So this is a totally different offense, a totally different defensive philosophy in Hughes Freeze. But this is Hughes Freeze's second stint in SEC country. So SEC play is not too big for Hughes Freeze. Even though he came out of Liberty, but you got to understand he came out of SEC to go to Liberty. You know, when he got fired at Ole Miss.
Say something about his mama, Ray.
So if you look at the situation here, Texas A&M looks to get off to a good start in the conference play after winning just 2 games in the SEC last year. To add to the criticism of highly paid coach Jimbo Fisher, everything falls on Jimbo Fisher's lap.
Chase the bag.
I mean, they paid him, but they're not producing. He's not producing what he's getting paid.
It's like giving a kid an allowance to clean the yard, and you go out there and look at the yard. You're supposed to clean it. Why am I paying you if you're not going to clean the yard? So Jimbo has not taken them to what he promised. You do something for us here at College Station. Make it make sense. The dollar's not making sense here at all. So this is that game. That loss, we got that out the way. You lost at the right time. At the right time. But you did lose to an up-and-coming program. So the judges are still watching on that. So the mentality with A&M is to win this thing straight out. No more losses. That's the mentality. I hate to get Denzel on them, but we must be perfect. That's it.
Now, if you look at the situation here, injuries has come up and hurt Auburn a little bit this year. Keon Scott, the starting corner, going to miss considerable time after having surgery on Monday to repair an unexpected injury. Fellow cornerback Amir Pritchard hasn't played yet this season, but Auburn's defense has still been pretty good. So they got a little bit of depth. If you're looking at Scott's being out and Pritchard hasn't even played yet. So now my question is, the graduate transfer out of Michigan State, Peyton Thorne, for 282 yards and a touchdown and ran for 123 yards and 2 more scores last week against Samford. He is the first Auburn quarterback since Nick Marshall in 2014 to throw for 200 yards and rush for 100 yards in a single game. So how does Texas A&M counterback Peyton Thorne? Did he put a spy on him this game? Because you got to respect his rushing.
You know, I would go on this like, let's see what he has. Let's see what he has. Show me your hand first before we make a move. So that first quarter, first possession for Auburn is going to be so important for the mentality of the defense of Texas A&M throughout the game. That first possession that Auburn has. Let mommy and daddy know you on it, because that's your daddy, son. Let's go.
Yeah, if you look at that same situation, you look at that same caliber here in this game here, there's some facts and figures that you got to look at here too. These teams met in 1911 when the Aggies got a 16-0 win. They didn't meet again until a 36-16 Texas A&M win in the Cotton Bowl in 1986. Auburn has won 4 of 5 meetings at Kyle Field. The Tigers have won 7 of their last 8 games played in Texas.
Okay.
The Aggies are 27-7 at home under Jimbo Fisher. The Aggies are tied for first in the SEC with 15 pass breakups this season. But wide receiver Evan Stewart starts the season with a consecutive 100-yard games before missing last week's game with an injury. That's a little bit of facts in there.
Way to bring me that facts and information.
Well, the weather is going to be a little bit, the last 2 weathers have been 60 degrees. This weather here is going to be 81 degrees. It's going to be sunny. College Station, Texas. Caesar Sportsbook has put out Texas A&M a 9-point favorite. Over and under is 51, and it's supposed to be a capacity crowd of 102,733 people there at Kyle Field. The 12th
cameraman he's gonna make it fun today, cameraman.
So we got all the numbers and all the things. Are you still taking Texas A&M over Auburn today?
Yes, sir. I am taking A&M for sure. What's an Aggie? Once an Aggie. I don't know, Daddy, but give me College Station and A&M.
I'm taking Auburn in this one myself because I think Hugh Freeze is coming back.
Tigers.
Yeah, I'm taking the Auburn Tigers. They're taking the War Eagles.
War Eagle.
I still can't get it. Their mascot's a tiger, but then they got a war eagle. Where did the freaking eagle come in play?
It's a whole lot of things I don't get. Why do we pull doors that say push?
But
I don't know.
But the tradition is back at Auburn of throwing the toilet papers in the tree.
Again, why?
I just want to let y'all know, I did read the thing and said that Auburn tradition is back throwing toilet paper in the tree. Because somebody poisoned that tree, you remember?
Yep. He went to prison. He went to prison for that. That was an E60 story. Outside of the lines.
All right, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead for our first rapid fire here, all the way down until we get to number 19 Colorado versus number 10.
You want to take a break, right?
You want to take a break? We can take a break
when we get done with the rapid fire.
Yeah. All right. We'll take a break after that. All right, Western Kentucky Hilltoppers versus Troy. Who you got?
Give me them Hilltoppers. I just love that damn name and their cheerleaders.
I'm taking Western Kentucky myself. Kentucky versus Vanderbilt. Who you got?
Give me Kentucky, baby.
Taking Kentucky. Also, Virginia Tech at Marshall.
UTEP at Marshall?
No, Virginia Tech at Marshall.
I don't like what Tech has been doing lately. We are Marshall. Thunder and Herd.
Yeah, I think Marshall's going to win because they're playing at home.
Mm-hmm.
Because ain't Marshall located in West Virginia?
Yeah.
So you got
you
got all the relatives up there, hanging out and getting drunk.
Keep that. She's in the family, Paul. That's your third cousin. I know.
SMU at TCU. Who you got?
Give me TCU.
I'm taking the Horned Frogs. Also, Tulsa at Northern Illinois.
Give me Northern Illinois.
Yeah, I'm going to take them, even though they messed me up one week. Western Michigan at Toledo.
Give me Toledo.
I don't know. I'm gonna take Western Michigan.
Okay.
Georgia Southern at Ball State.
Give me Ball State.
I always go Ball State. I think you and David Letterman's got something with Ball State.
Stay out of my head, Ray. I almost made a pun on David Letterman. I did the pick.
I'm taking Georgia Southern on that. We'll be right back here on the All Sports All Plays Network. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, don't miss. Number 19, Colorado versus number 10, Oregon. As Deion Sanders continues going on to Eugene for the first time to take on Oregon. We'll be right back after these messages.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a place. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, then I'm in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the air, we're taking the nation. All sport, all plays. Like working your faces. Grace at the field, so type the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
This is the Funks D Streaming Network. Register to come on our channel at funksdnetwork.com.
Welcome back to the All Sports All Plays Network. I am Ray Cruz. Dre will be right back. He's taking a timeout. I put him in timeout for a little while. We gotta keep the old man straighten out a little bit here. And so, but anyway, we're getting ready to break down the number 19 Colorado versus number 10 Oregon battle here today. I'm going to talk about Deion Sanders here. Dre is now back out of timeout. Put him in the penalty box for 3 minutes. Back out in the mix of everything. So we're going to go ahead and break it down here. There we go. I'll put it in the right spot. There's Dre right there. Dre Montez, man. Look at that.
Where are you at? Dre Montez?
Look at that. Here? Look, you see Dre's on top of the box. Watch this little magic right here. I got a little magic show for you. I got a little magic show for you right here. Got a little magic show. Look at that. He was on top of the box. Now he's back in the box. So we like to keep everything spiced up here. Jay Ness is saying we are on fire.
What's up, Jay? What's up? Appreciate the fire, man. Appreciate it.
We had some dude named James Johnson put some kind of organization. But if you like the All Sports All Plays Network, you can support us by sending stars. Stars will help the All Sports All Plays up, make content like this, keep us going afloat. So if you really like our shows and like a thing, we can pay our bills. Jay said, "What's up, Dre?"
What up? What up? What up? What up?
Hey, man, you missed it. I put him in the penalty box earlier. I had to put him in the 3-minute timeout box. But anyway, we're going to continue right along here.
All right.
We're talking about Deion Sanders, bringing in the number 19, Colorado Buffaloes, who has now won 2 more games than they did last year.
Okay.
So, that a really thing. Now the big test is coming. Big test for him.
Mm-hmm.
We know that Texas Christian TCU was a big game for them at the beginning of the season. We know Texas TCU is not the same TCU that was last year. It was runner-up. We know that for a fact.
People make changes.
Now Deion has took that road. They're only giving them 6.1% to beat Oregon and Eugene. Oregon is 93.9% and Bo Nix. Now they get a quarterback who is now really stepped up his game. He's transferring out of Auburn. Stepped it up last year. Now he's continued again this year. What kind of fact does Colorado faces this tough Oregon's team? Because now, if you look at Colorado looked like they had speed in most of the games they've been playing so far. Now Oregon's now can match them with speed. But now Colorado's without their big play guy on the offense and in corner. And Travis Hunter might be out for a couple weeks, according to Deion.
Hurt.
So now my question to you, man. My question is to you. How do you look at Colorado now, who plays the mentality of they were behind last week, came back and won. They don't give up. They played to the final horn like every team should be playing.
Right.
Does Oregon look at the fact that if they get a big lead, get up on them, do Oregon continue to put the fire on them? Or do they try to slow it down a little bit and cause them to creep back into this game?
Well, what you just said, every team that Colorado has played tried to do those examples you just set out there. I think the mentality of Oregon is going to be don't get comfortable. And on the other side, you got Colorado saying, hey, nobody thinks we have a shot to win this game. We know Shedeur can run and throw that thing if he needs to. The big difference to me is Travis Hunter. Not saying if Travis was 100% healthy, they would definitely win this game. But I think Travis Hunter healthy is a big difference maker with Oregon offensively going into this game and defensively going into this game. This changes the whole scheme and outlook, just that one player, because he's that good. He could do so many things. So now we're really going to see the backup role. we could possibly see Deion's son on defense playing both ways because he can play receiver too. So I could see that being a thing. I don't want to count Colorado out, but this could be a game to make USC say, hold on now. Oh, you see what they did now? That changes that. I don't want to say look ahead next, but I also want to say don't get overconfident, Shedeur. You got to think in the minds of the guy you've been working out with, Thomas and Jefferson, Patrick Brady, T12. If they get that, if Shedeur gets time in that pocket, that's 650 yards possible. If you make him run and throw, give him decision-making or RPOs, somebody forget the coverage, they again, maybe 302 tugs. That's the thing. Oregon can't go in this game overconfident, and they can't go in this game getting comfortable if they have a 21-point lead going into the third quarter. Don't substitute too early. Calm down student body section. And don't storm the field.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that element there too. But if you look at Deion Sanders' son, he has 107 out of 136, 1,251 yards, 10 touchdowns, 1 interception. Bo Nix is 76 out of 98, 893 yards, and 8 touchdowns, but no interceptions. Now, if you look at the rushing game for Colorado, Edwards has got 25 carries, 136 yards, and 1 touchdown. Irvin, on the other hand, for Oregon, 27 carries, 216 yards, and 3 touchdowns in the first 3 games. Now, this is what get interesting. Wide receiver, Weaver, 25 receptions, 386 yards, 2 touchdowns. Franklin for Oregon is 17 receptions, 292 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Okay.
So, you look at the passing, and that's pretty much even here. But Oregon, as a team, is averaging 587 yards total offense to Colorado's 479 yards total offense. If you want to break it down a little bit further, Colorado's 418 yards passing per game to 357.7 yards for Oregon. But even break that a little bit more further,
Keep going.
Colorado is averaging 61 yards rushing per game. Oregon is averaging 229 yards, 0.3 a game.
Damn.
So if you're talking about a balanced offense, that's well balanced for Oregon.
It is. It is.
Not balanced for Colorado. I think that's why Colorado stays in these games, because they have to pass the ball more, and they're more efficient in passing the ball than they are running the ball. But now,
don't give up.
Now does Deion Sanders flip the script here today and try to keep Oregon's offense on the sideline and try to run the ball more and try to get the time of possession in his favor?
Stab my head, Ray. I was about to say time possession. What we talking about? We talking about time of possession. Okay. Utilizing the play clock. I could see that. But you got to talk to the front line, because Colorado has too many penalties leading up to this game where they should have known better. Like the Travis Hunter game. I blame that on the refs. It was too many mustard on those early hits in the game. They should have got both coaches together in the middle of the field, first quarter, and said, look here, I've had enough. The refs lost control of that game. But on this game right here, if time possession is something we're going to emphasize to the team, I like where your head's at on, right?
Yeah, if you look at it, dude, Jay Ness made a comment saying, yeah, that hurts them a lot. We will see how much of a dog Shakur is. I agree with that. I agree with that with Jay too, because they haven't really played anybody except TCU. And then last week they were behind, and he brought it back a little bit, brought them back. But this time it's a different beast. You're going into Eugene, Oregon, which is going to be tough to play because you got a crowd sitting on top of you. You got Oregon, who's playing terrific football right now. You got Bo Nix, who's a quality quarterback. But they also got a running game that's very overpowerful and speed-wise, too. So, I mean, you got Colorado's speed, to me, in the first 3 games are overmatched to everybody else. Now they're getting a team that has got the same kind of speed.
Right.
Who's?
I get you. I could see Jimmy McGinty coming in for the movie The Replacements when they were down at halftime and said, Jimmy, what's the problem? Heart. If Colorado realizes that before this game, the expectations are all the way on Eugene, Oregon side. The naysayers said, the Ducks said, everybody has Oregon winning this game, and Deion has told that whole team this, giving them nothing but what Oregon said they're going to do. See, that right there is motivation. It speaks volumes when your coach knows how to get to you and rile you up. Again, I don't think Colorado has a chance in damn hell to win this game. But if they win that game, that really changes the conversation. Depends on how they win the game. Turnover city, mistakes, or just straight up playing decent football, turnover free. There are going to be penalties, but let's not get out of hand. No unsportsmanlike conducts, no late hits, no personal fouls. Holdings, I get it. It's a hold on every damn play. Come on. Every man looks at a woman ass in Walmart. Face it. So there are going to be mistakes.
Yeah, if you look at it this way too, Jay said Nebraska's not no slouch. Yeah, but Nebraska's not Oregon.
This ain't the 80s or the 90s Nebraska, Jay. Good point. Good point. But that whole program needs to sit down and watch a Disney movie holding hands.
Yeah, and if you look at it, the Buffaloes beat TCU and Nebraska before a thrilling come-from-behind win over Colorado State last week.
Okay.
The rivalry
we talked
game.
about what Colorado has done. What really has Oregon done leading up to this matchup?
Not really nothing, because they blew out their first team 81-0.
See, you're showing out right there.
Yeah, I mean that. Let's go. You brought an interesting stat up. Let's take the interesting stat. I'm gonna bring it up here. The last 5 games for the start of the season at TCU, 45-42 win. They had to come from behind to beat them. Nebraska, they were ahead the most entire game, 36-14. On that. Last week, they had to come from behind to beat Colorado State in 2 overtimes. Colorado did 43-35 in 2 overtimes.
Right.
Now let's check Oregon out here.
Hold on 1 second. Let's just say Shedeur did not come from HBCU. Would people still be saying, wow, look at this Shedeur. I can't believe that. He moved up to another classification. So I think to him, he's winning each time he wins.
Yeah,
the naysayers, putting this game on him like, if you win this game, then we gonna know you for real, Shedeur.
This is why I look at it too. I look at recruiting a little bit different than anybody else does.
Uh-oh.
I look at recruiting that people's opinions, they put stars on these players. You don't know you don't know the opinions of these gurus, because some of these guys haven't played football in their lifetime. They sit behind a piece of paper writing these things down, looking at the eye candy, basically. I call it eye candy.
Keyboard clickers.
When I pick recruits out, I look at how they play the game, how their mentality are, how their heart is, and their agility and what they're supposed to do. I don't look at the situation of I'm gonna pick this guy, he's gonna be a 5-star recruit, or this guy's a 3-star recruit. I don't look in that.
Who gave you value?
I look at the situation. I look at the situation. Shakur Sanders came into college football at HBU. Came on the spotlight with his dad. Came out and did pretty good. Did an outstanding job. I don't look at him taking a downgrade going to HBU. I look at him saying, hey, I'm going here. I'm going to show myself. I'm going to prove myself. But in the end, he could have gone to any college he wanted to, really, in my opinion. So, I mean, that doesn't downgrade that. But him going into a Power 5 conference and then playing where he's playing right now, playing with much confidence. You know, I don't think Oregon's going to go in there and blow them out. I don't think Colorado's going to let them do that. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a nail-biter game. I think it could come from behind and win again for Colorado. Never know. Because You touch a point here. Deion Sanders knows how to articulate when he wants to get a thought skip. His opinion. He wants to know. He gets his team motivated a certain way, a different way than any other thing. I think it goes back to the day that when he played college football and played the pros. The way
I think
mentality.
He was back to that. Yeah.
When he played, the way he talked about it in a 60-minute interview. I think he was on 60 Minutes at one time.
Yeah,
he said this one key thing. When he was in Pop Warner football, he said one guy stuck out to his memory. How to prepare yourself for a game. And the way he prepared for a game it's the same way he prepares for life. It's being a real respectable human being, teaching his players how to be adults, how to be businesslike, and not being a showboat type play. And they play with unity and they play with team effort. You can an individual player. If you have one individual player, it doesn't make a team. You got to have a team unity, team concept. And the way Deion plays, he doesn't play to a bigger player. It reminds me of a Dean Smith type coach, because Dean Smith you had a star player in Michael Jordan. You had a star player in James Worthy. But when he talked to everybody on the bench, he treated everybody with the same amount of respect that he treated the star players.
You have to.
And that's going back all the way to the water boy on the basketball team. He treated him with the same respect he treated Michael Jordan was. Yeah. Deion treats everybody else the same way. I think the two concepts is very trending here. I think the way Deion plays and the mentality, the way he coaches, this game is not going to be too big for his guys.
Okay.
I don't think the game is going to be too big. But what I think the game is going to come down to is the effectiveness of Bo Nix for Oregon, because Bo Nix has this one game that he comes out of character.
Thank you.
He has this one game come out of character. But then again, we are still in September. Oregon doesn't come out of unravel until October, November time frame.
Pressure.
But now this game is going to be probably going to be the highest rated game to be watching today. Out of all these games.
I feel you.
The way they hype this game up. And Jay says, it's going to be closer to your eyes. You'll lose against Nebraska. TCU was supposed to beat Colorado according to the power be. I understand that, Jay. But the power to be are newscasters, broadcasters, people that don't play the game of football, trying to take the analytics and go out of range and stuff. People that play the game of football, we know that this game is going to be closer than what people are expecting. We know this game is going to be, because the way the mentality of both teams and coaches are, one's a defensive guru and Deion's a massive motivator. So you got a defensive guru in Landon against a massive motivator. Both teams going to play with hearts. So this is going to be a dogfight from the get-go. This is going to be like the Tuskegee Airmen taking out your enemies overseas and come back victorious when people thought they were all going to die, because they put them out there to die. But they went out there and destroyed people. Hey, just an analogy I had. It popped in my head.
You what, I look at this like, I wish this may piss some Oregon Duck fans or Regan fans out there, but I wish Chip Kelly was there. I wish Chip Kelly was still coaching, because this is even more intense, even more of a matchup. They would probably get two different crews to cover this damn game if Chip Kelly was still at Oregon. But for what it's worth, the more and more we talk about this, I hope it's not a blowout either side. I want a good football game. I want the refs, I swear, don't let these kids get in each other's face. I don't want another mistake that you made a couple of weeks ago.
Well,
Boo-boo.
If you look at it this way, if you look at Oregon's last 3 games against Power 5 teams, go to the bowl game that they beat Carolina coming back at the end, 28-27. They barely beat Texas Tech this year, 38-30, and they blew out the lesser opponents. 81-7 against Over the PRST State, Prairie View State, and then they beat out Hawaii 55-10.
They beat Hawaii.
That's the two blowouts they had, but against the last two Power 5 teams, they had one. It's a one-score game. So this is another Power 5 team going into Oregon now. Play Oregon and Bo Nix. What does Buffalo have to do to slow down this high-power Oregon offense right now?
You made the key point. Rattle Mr. Nix up. You rattle him up. It's going to be a helmet slamming. There's going to be, I know, coach, I know. No, you don't, or you wouldn't have done that. You rattle him up at vantage point, Colorado. He gets comfortable, and you don't rattle him up, it's going to be a long day, dog day afternoon for the Colorado Buffaloes.
Now, I got one guy. I'm sorry, it wasn't Prairie View State. It was Portland State. They beat 81-0.
Portland State, even worse.
All right. Now, the Ducks are 3-0. They prepared for their first challenge, real challenge of the season. But Texas Tech really prepared them for that first challenge because they played a great game. 38-30 was the final score.
Correct.
On that game. But Oregon, with the fifth-year senior in Nix, leading the way, are 3 touchdowns favored against Colorado, according to all the naysayers. To me, if you ask me, as being a person that played the sport of football, this game is going to be a whole lot closer than what these naysayers says. I would never put a 14-point, 3-touchdown favorite of Oregon in this game.
It dropped. It was at 21 yesterday. Is it 14 now?
No, it's at 21 still. They still got it at 3 score.
But I never mind.
21.
Never mind.
But I think you go under the point spread because I think Colorado's going to make this a game that more than what people think. Now, let's take that devil advocate and turn it around. What does Oregon defense got to do to slow down Shakur Sanders?
It's undecided. They know what happens if you give him time, and they know what can happen if he can run the ball as well. He's another dual threat that makes good decisions. He has not made a bad decision yet. He may have missed an open guy, but I don't think he's had a really, really bad throw yet.
Now let's take it back. Let's take it back to that game against Colorado State. You mentioned a great point there. He can run the ball. In that game, they were down going into the last drive. Shakur Sanders took the team and started running the ball and got him to the other side of the 50. And then that's when he kept him in the game. He kept him going there. So we know he got the legs, got the arms. We know he got kind of rattled against Colorado State, but then it didn't rattle him then he calmed down. His dad got to him. And, you know, I like the way his dad pulled these players to the side instead of bringing them out like Nick Saban. You see him on the sideline bringing out people. He put his arm around. He put his arms around him. He said, "Hey, look, this is what you need to do. This is the thing. We love you." And you can see what it's about. I love you and stuff like the son. And then boom, next thing you know, that player comes back out and catches like 3 or 4 balls at a key moment. So now you got to look at this Colorado team and Oregon and Bo Nix. The fire under these two teams here, Landing versus Prime Time. Coach Prime. That's why he likes to be called. But to me, I think this is going to be a very nerve-wracking game for Oregon's fans in that stadium because you're not going to blow this team out. It's just the way Colorado plays. It's not going to be a blowout game. It's not your Colorado from last year. You know, this is a different Colorado, totally different Colorado team. Only 3 players from the last year's team is still on this team. This is a whole new team. One of the ESPN announced son still was on the last year's team. He was still on this year's team. But now, if you look at the situation, Colorado's tight end last week was the key factor going down the stretch. How does Oregon take him away? How does the Oregon take away the tight end that caught the game-winning touchdown?
Pay attention. Keep an eye on him. Don't forget your responsibility, linebacker. But let me back up a little bit. The running back for Colorado, he reminds me of Joe Morris and a little bit of Barry Sanders. What I say about that, they follow their blocking. You know, some running backs, they make it past one guy, not following their block. They're like, I got this. But he runs, he follows the blockers. And I like that. I noticed that on that 98-yard drive in that Colorado State game. But yeah, that's what I would do with the tight end. If I'm the defensive coordinator and linebacker coach, listen, we know what he can do. We've watched film on this. We worked on this. Now let's go. But as kids are being kids, they think he's going to run, and what happens? It's a pick right there, a roll-off. You got the tight end open in the middle. Going to get some yak on that right there, yards after catch. Or you can get him on a post. Either way, it's the linebacker's responsibility.
All right, game time today will be at 3:30. This is on ABC. Game time temperature will be 62 degrees, partly cloudy in Eugene, Oregon. Oregon Ducks are favored by 21 points. The over and under in this game is 70. And its capacity crowd will be 54,000 people on hand to watch this game. Could be a little bit more than that.
Oregon is only averaging 4.7 yards. Colorado is averaging 9.1.
So, my friend, it is time to pick who you going with in this ballgame.
I'm going to go to Oregon, man. Going to Oregon. Oregon. Not a blowout. Not a blowout. What's the over-under?
Over and under is 70 points.
Give me that over-under. Okay. Who you got?
I'm going with Colorado.
Uh-oh. Say it loud now. They can't hear you.
I am going with Colorado in this one.
Uh-oh. Ray say, we here. We not coming. We here. We here. Eric Public, the enemy, would be proud.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you why. I think Deion has made a believer out of me. I think the way his coaching style is, his philosophy, is the way his demeanor is, the way he's got these kids playing together, the way he's got these kids preparing, the way he got these kids in suits, and if he catches you and not open the door for a female, you don't want to play the next game.
I get that, but does the woman turn around and say thank you?
I don't know.
Them the ones that piss me off.
Deion ain't really worrying about that. Deion wants to see his guys being gentlemen. But I don't know. You got to figure Colorado, people are puff passing, up there.
Nothing wrong with it, Ray. Don't knock it till you try it.
But anyway, so since you mentioned Chip Kelly and this last one, we are now going to this game right here.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about that man. I don't like. Maybe it's the fact that the way he failed in the NFL.
All right.
This dude took out the snack machine.
You must be watching Game Day.
No, what Chip Kelly did when he got the pros, he took out the snack machine. He brought in a former SEAL to train him.
All right, my friend. This game today is UCLA versus Utah. It is 11:06. We got a lot of games, so we're going to take these games a little bit seriously, a little bit more. We're going to move on a little bit. Spend a little bit too much time on the Colorado game. So let's break this game down a little bit here. If you look at the ESPN predictor, 66.3% gives the favor to Utah. 33.7% gives the favor to Chip Kelly. Utah is favored by 3 points in this ball game. Both teams comes in 3-0. Number 22 UCLA versus number 11 Utah at 3:30. This game is on Fox. If you look at the quarterback situation, D. Moore for UCLA is 32 out of 51, 615 yards with 7 touchdowns and 1 interception. Cam Rising has not played yet. Nolan Johnson has gone away so far. 22 out of 32, 281 yards and 1 touchdown. It's him. If you look at the running back situation, still for UCLA is 30 carries for 243 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Jackson leads the way for Utah, 33 carries for 213 yards, and wide receiving core, Michael Studevant 9 receptions, 219 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Parks leads the way for Utah. 8 receptions, 138 yards, and 2 touchdowns here. So what does UCLA got to do to take away Utah's offense? Because if you look at the offense, this offense is UCLA is averaging 527 yards total offense to Utah's 357 yards total.
Mhm.
Look at the passing situation. The disparity is big in that one. 256.7 yards for UCLA to 170.3 for Utah. Rushing is 270 yards for UCLA to 186.7 yards to Utah.
Until someone explains me what a Ute is and the fact that the Utes beat my Florida football Gators, I'm bitter. I can't let it go. And the Chip Kelly method, no matter how funny it is, it works. It's just like when the former Buffalo Bill coach brought out the K-gun formation. Everybody laughed, but it worked. So if they believe in the method with speed and flexibility, UCLA, known as UCLA, they could win this game. And I like those 3 points. I like it. I like those odds.
And if you look at this situation here, UCLA has not really played anybody. They played Coastal Carolina 27-13. They played San Diego State University 35-10, and they beat North Carolina Central 59-7 last week. This is their first real.
Central has good homecoming.
This is their first real test for UCLA. But if you look at Utah beat Florida 24-11. They beat Baylor 20-13. So they beat two Power 5 teams right off the bat, and they beat Weber 31-7 is the last game. So this is another big test for Utah without Cam Rising. So does Cam Rising come back in this ball game? That's going to be the question. Let's see if he's still on the injured list or if he's coming back today or not. Because
Utah is a good football program. They've gotten better. They've come a long way considering it's Utah in football. But the program has come a long way. They got put on the map years ago. But at the same time, UCLA is trying to tell people, hey, you can believe in football on the left coast. And we must win games, not only just for UCLA, but for the left coast as well. And then Chip Kelly is a coach that I really like on a collegiate level. And I like what he is trying to do at UCLA. I like his whole preparation. I like his game prep.
Yeah, if you look at this thing, that the coverage is at 3:30 today on Fox. The game temperature in Utah is going to be 61 degrees again. Salt Lake City, Utah is the place of where Utah is located at. Caesars Sportsbook has got Utah favored by 3. The over and under is 51. Capacity crowd is 51,444 people on hand at Utah. This is a home game for Utah. So let's pick who you got. Who you got? UCLA or you got Utah? Which one are you going to take?
I'm looking for UCLA. Give me that. I like their cheerleaders better anyway.
I don't know. They said Cam Rising could be a game time decision. So I'm going to go with Utah on this one here.
Okay. Game time is what? 38 minutes before kickoff? Something like that?
Injury reports for 3:30 game has to be in by 2:30.
There you go. Facts and factual, kids. 1 hour before the game. It's bookie information.
All righty. We're going to move right along to the next one that we're going to cover here. Everybody ready? On to the next one here.
Man, college football is just that life, man. I tell you. It is something spectacular.
I'm going to bring you down here, put you behind the box, and there we go. We got number 15, Ole Miss Rebels versus number 13, Alabama Crimson Tide at 3:30 today. So, my friend, who are we going to look at today? We got 66.1% says Alabama. 33.9% says it's going to be Ole Miss. Does the 33.9% get it right, or does the 66.1% get it right today?
Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Tuscaloosa, Alabama's eyes is we know the quarterback situation has been plummeted. This year is the tail of the tape of the quarterback recruiting. Monroe has not lived up to his name of expectation.
Neither has.
Even though he is 27 out of 45 for 449 yards and 5 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, but he's been mediocre at best at 2-1. Last week they started a new quarterback at South Florida. He didn't last a series. Put Milroe back in. They did win the game going away at the end against South Florida. But Dart, on the other hand, for Ole Miss, is 45 out of 68, 852 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 1 interception. And he also leads them in rushing for 32 carries for 213 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Williams leads Alabama with 30 carries for 177 yards and 1 touchdown. Watkins, the receiving for Ole Miss, is 15 receptions, 290 yards, and 1 touchdown. But Bond for Alabama's 10 receptions, 152 yards, and 1 touchdown. This is not the same Alabama team that it was last year, a few years. How long have you seen Alabama go with a total yards of 367 yards, 0.7 total offense? It's been a while.
It's been decades. And here's my thing with Alabama. There is no accountability from the coaches or the players. There's no leadership other than the head coach, Nick Saban. We know he's the leader, but who's after that? On the field, where's my leader at? Who's going to take ownership? Who's going to be responsible? Who's going to let that man know, hey, I need you to focus on this game? There's a disarray. The offensive play coordinator could be leaving, all this crap. Let it go. Sometimes you got to lock the mechanism, meaning block out the outside noise. Don't even listen to them. You're not the Bama of yesteryear. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. But no one is taking the person to say, it's on me. This is why we're here, coach. You need to get back to where you used to be. We're not that team from last year. We're not that team 15 years ago. Those guys are gone. It's our time. Let's get back to Roll Tide. Let's get back to Bama standards. On the other side, Ole Miss, them rebels are thinking they're down. Let's put our foot on the neck. Don't look back. Don't look down and keep marching. That's what Ole Miss needs to do going into this game.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. That is something that we really gotta really look at here too in these situations here for this day. This is not the same Alabama team where they had Bryce Young and all that.
Then show me who you are.
This is the conspiracy here is they only passing 196 yards per game, 171.7 rushing for Alabama. But on the other hand, Ole Miss is rushing for 177 yards and passing for 349.7 yards per game. But on the other hand, the defense is still not the Alabama's old defense at 309.7 yards.
Right. Show me that speed.
They haven't given up the average. The defense now is giving up 120 yards rushing. Usually it's under 100 rushing. You can't rush against Alabama and make you a one-dimensional team. But this year, teams are rushing 120 yards, also passing 189.7 against their defense. But Ole Miss's defense is still Ole Miss defense, which is 350.3 yards per game. But they passing, they're giving up 226.7, and they're giving up 123.7 yards per game also. So
right.
Alabama, you look at that, Alabama can't still, even though you're giving up 226.7 yards passing, Alabama is not going to take that into account because the quarterbacks are inconsistent.
Right. There's going to be mistakes will be made. Whether you can cause that or let them make the mistake. That's where it is right there. It all boils back to discipline. Who's going to show that? Because there's been a lack of discipline with Bama this whole season. The indecisiveness at the quarterback position is really mind-baffling to me, as we know how Saban takes pride in the quarterback position, offensively speaking. No one's moving the ball. Why am I giving you a car, but you don't want to drive anywhere? He's giving both of them keys to the car. Neither one of them gotten out the damn driveway, let alone the street in the neighborhood. That's where it's at. Is it on the defensive side fault? Nobody on defense is trying to pump up the offense. It's like everybody's asleep. They don't realize they're at a house party with a nice DJ. It's free drinks. They don't realize it. They just walking down the street. Somebody gonna get in the white van and somebody gonna get bit by a rock. And everybody gonna say, what happened? Next thing you know, it's 35-3. Zabe done threw his headphones 5 times. Hairstyle is gone. But if they play Bama ball, but Ole Miss, to me, they're in the right spot right now. They're in the right spot right now.
Yeah, if you look at this, too, Bryant-Denny Stadium is the place to be at 3:30 p.m.
Damn, another game at 3:30?
Yeah, this game is going to – now, my question is, you got Nick Saban coaching Alabama, and you got Coach Prime going head-to-head on the telecast. Which game is going to be most watched? Everybody believes it's going to be the Colorado game.
Of course.
An Alabama game. But if Alabama gets upset against Ole Miss again, you know, this could be. And
I'm gonna run around the block.
This is so much telling. I want to do this right quick. Game time weather is 84 degrees, but it's also a cloud over Bryant-Denny Stadium today too. It's going to be cloudy.
Shirt off, camera shot. Yeah.
It's going to be very cloudy. And the exact same way Alabama's playing is very cloudy.
Good point there, huh?
Since season books odds got Alabama favored by 7 points. Over and under is 56 points. It's going to be 100,000 people, 177,000 people going to be in this game.
Let me get that 7.
So
I like that 7 points. I like that.
All that says, we put everything in perspective. Does Ole Miss have a chance to win in this ball game today? Who are you picking today?
I say yes. Ole Miss has an opportunity to win this game in more ways than one. Don't listen to the media. Don't listen to the media. Play the game. On the other side of the ball, Bama is like daddy on his way home, and we got to help him clean up our room. They have to play a perfect game. First half. Who's going to lead this team for Bama? But I got Ole Miss winning this game, and I like those points being 7 for Bama. Call your bookie now.
I'm going to go with you on this Ole Miss thing.
This is my second upset pick.
Yeah, I think I'm going with you on this one too, because the reality is I think you said it right on the thing. The quarterback's playing inconsistent. Alabama's not – accountability of the coaches are not there. Is this the last hurrah for Nick Saban? Is Nick Saban going down with the ship now? Is this the time for him to say, hey, look, I had a good run. It's now people that's done caught up with Alabama. It's now supposedly might surpass Alabama right now. Is this the time for Nick Saban to say, hey, look, I don't want to get too far in my career and start going downhill like other coaches? Is it time for Nick Saban to say, hey, let me go ahead and pass the torch to somebody else?
No, I think it's really time for him to listen to whoever he listens to about the game of football. The one that we'll never hear that name of that person. He needs to really listen to him. I don't see Saban walking away from football. No, sir. But he needs to come to the changing of the times, the communication factor, understanding the portal. You know, we know you don't like having other people's kids. You want your own damn kids. I get that. People just don't like raising other people's kids. They like their own damn kids. But with changing of the times, not everyone has any candidate coming to there without any kids. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when Saban realizes that, I think Bama can get back to being Bama. But coming into this matchup, I don't think it's really set home yet on how bad that program is looking right now. But again, I think Ole Miss has the advantage point.
All righty. So got a few rapid fires right here. Number 18, number 18 Duke at UConn. Who you got?
Give me Duke all day. Sorry, Molly.
I got Duke on that one. Number 20, Miami goes into Temple. Who you got?
Man, give me them Canes. Give me you.
Yeah, Miami on that one. Florida Atlantic at Illinois.
Ooh, I like Florida Atlantic.
I'm taking Illinois on that one. All right, we're going to break our next game down here. Real quick here. It is Maryland versus Michigan State. Pardon.
Fear the turtle. For personal reasons I will no longer discuss, I can never root for Michigan State. So give me. What are they playing?
They're playing Maryland. The Fighting Terps.
Give me Fear the turtle. Fear the turtle. Give me Maryland. Do it for them kids.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's what everything that goes on at Michigan State. I got Maryland too on that one.
Yeah, can't be a part of that shit.
You know, I feel bad for I feel bad for a lot of things that goes on up in Lansing, Michigan.
I tell you, man,
it's really put a bad taste in everybody's mouth up there.
Yeah,
I feel sorry for organizations. So due to that respect, we won't break down too much.
I don't understand why people don't listen to kids. I don't understand that. But go ahead, make your point.
So, I just want to put it in there, just, in case we wanted to talk about a little bit what's going on up there or not. But
yeah,
I think we very excited and stuff like that. What's going on?
We're trying to gain sponsors, not lose them. Don't get me talking about that.
So we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break. After this, we're gonna break down the last few games here, and then we're gonna shoot off some more rapid fires till we get to number 14, Oregon State versus Iowa State. Oh, that's Oklahoma. I'm sorry. Let me get down to the part. Wait. They're playing number 21, Washington State. So we're going to break that down, do a rapid fire in between. Right after this on the All Sports All Place Network, we'll be right back after these minutes.
All Sports All Plays. All Sports All Plays. All Sports All Plays. 365, we're making a place. We're talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, then I'm in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Race at the field, so type the laces. All Sports All Plays. All Sports All Plays. We on top of our game. All Sports All Plays. All Sports All Plays.
This is the Funks D Streaming Network. Register to come on our channel at funksdnetwork.com.
Welcome back to the All Sports All Plays Network. I am Ray Cruz. Dre will be right back. We put him back in the penalty box again. Want to make sure that he's doing okay and taking his breaks that he needs. Sometimes these old people got to take these breaks, man.
I had to get another energy drink.
Hey, well, I told you, man.
Same damn age. This gray hair is from 4 marriages.
I had 2, so.
It's 6 kids. It's not a race, Ray. It's not a race.
I got 4 kids. I ain't getting no more. I'm done. I'm done with kids. Getting too
I'm
old.
not getting the 5th wife, and I'm not getting the 7th kid. Loud and clear.
All right. So before we get to the Oregon State and Washington State ball game here, let's go do a little bit of rapid fire here. Louisiana Tech at Nebraska. Who you got?
Ooh, La Tech, I liked it, but I believe in the Cornhuskers. I think Coach whipped them with a belt and wet it, so I'm going with the Cornhuskers.
I'm going with Nebraska on that too. Boston College at Louisville.
Louisville.
I think Boston College is going to get the win today. I just have a feeling. I think they carry over from the FSU game, the way they played. I think it's going to boost their confidence a little bit up to going into Louisville. I think they got a chance. BYU at Kansas.
Kids not getting laid against a team I like. Oh, give me Kansas.
Not so fast. I think Brigham Young is bringing all the
Brigham Young. Okay, Brigham Young.
I think they're bringing all their wives with them. So they do good with that.
Dude's 28, still in college. It's called being a doctor, Dre.
Texas Tech at West Virginia.
Ooh, West Virginia still pisses me off. Let me go with the Red Raiders.
I think the Red Raiders bringing their wise relationship and making sure they stay out of the family, and West Virginia's got within the family. So,
she's blood, Paul.
New Mexico versus Massachusetts.
Give me UMass.
I think the Minutemen will probably win this game myself. I got the Minutemen. Texas A&M Commerce at Old Dominion.
Give me A&M.
I'm taking the Monarchs.
Oh, isn't Auburn playing Texas A&M?
This is a Texas A&M Commerce / Commerce.
Okay.
This is a sub off of Texas A&M.
Okay, you tricked me right there, Ray. I was like, hold on. Now.
So you going to change your answer? Or you going to go with them still?
Yes, I'm changing my answer. Stop showing me his family.
All right, so we both got Old Dominion. Ohio at Bowling Green.
Bowling Green.
I'll take Ohio on this one. Delaware State at Miami, Ohio.
Miami, Ohio.
Got that. That's where. All right. UTSA versus number 23, Tennessee.
Ooh. I think Tennessee's still pissed off. Give me Tennessee.
I'm taking Tennessee on that one. Oklahoma State at Iowa State. Who you got?
Ooh. Give me Oklahoma State.
Haven't been playing good all year, so I'm taking Iowa State on this one.
Okay.
Rice at South Florida.
Give me South Florida.
Yeah, I'm going to take South Florida too. Eastern Michigan at Jacksonville State.
Jacksonville State.
Yep, I take Jacksonville State at that. Central Michigan at South Alabama.
Central Michigan. Shout out to my youngest. Hey, Tim.
I'm taking South Alabama. Has been playing very well this year. Gardner-Webb at East Carolina.
Back in my days as a truck driver, I delivered to Gardner-Webb, but I've partied in East Carolina. Give me ECU.
I'm going to take Gardner-Webb. I think Gardner-Webb is a better team than ECU, even though I did have party also at ECU on a football recruiting trip.
With Jeff Blake. I kicked it with Jeff Blake.
Actually, I was 17 years old when I went. And
he's legal, Paul.
And I made out with a 22-year-old.
Hey!
I was there.
Hey!
Liberty at Florida International.
Liberty Mutual. Liberty Mutual. Give me Liberty.
Taking Liberty also. Georgia Tech at Wake Forest.
That's a good matchup. Oh, that's a good matchup. That's one school I wish could come back to reality, that being Georgia Tech. But there's nothing wrong with it. They care more about technology than football. So I'm going to Wake Forest.
I got Wake too. That's on the CW network. Arkansas at number 12, LSU.
Ooh, Arkansas. Shout out to Little Rock and North Augusta. LSU coach is an idiot. Brian Kelly. Nobody remembers when he lied on his resume and lost the job at Notre Dame, but I do. His attempt at dancing on national television is atrocious, worse than Elaine on Seinfeld. Give me Arkansas in an upset. Arkansas.
I got number 12 LSU on that one. All right, number 14, Oregon State at number 21, Washington State. This game right here features DJ Ogale, who has been playing better than Clemson.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he has. I like the Beavers.
All right, 64% says it will be Oregon State to 36% for the home team of Washington State.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Ogale is 42 out of 68, 630 yards, 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Ward is 78 out of 108, 986 yards, and 9 touchdowns. The running back is a big gap in the running game. 40 carries for 351 yards for Martinez and 1 touchdown. Ward is also the leading rusher for Washington State, 32 carries, 95 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So they don't run the ball very effectively. Wide receiver.
Martinez or Montez?
Martinez.
Oh, Martinez, okay.
Bolden is 13 reception for 159 yards for Oregon State, 1 touchdown. Victor is 224 reception, 342 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So this is a team that procrastinates on the run for Oregon State to a team that airs it out. So, and offense is 466 total offense to 535 total offense for Washington State. Oregon's got 466 total offense. And Oregon State is very balanced, 247 to 219 rushing between the passing. Washington State's 400.7 yards passing to 135 yards. And then the defense is better for Oregon State. So this could be an all-around game for Oregon State. That's where you're leaning to, Oregon State, on this one?
Yes. Give me the Beavers.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Beavers.
Ward, I think you're a little hard on the Beaver last time.
I was going to say we break down this game here, but the game could be a blowout from the get-go here.
What time is it? 10:18? Well, you 11:18.
No, it's 11:35.
Oh, we that fast? Damn.
Moving.
Good pace today, sir.
All right, man. Your Charlotte 49ers versus your number 25 Florida Gators.
I know my kids can do better. We're not done growing. I want to see better Florida Gator football. Make me believe in this coach the way everybody else is saying. I don't think the Florida Gators going to win every game. Realistically speaking, we have not met up to the standards this season. Everybody keeps saying on paper and in the media and the naysayers, we don't know what the problem is with Florida. Exactly. Where is it? They're not motivated enough. They don't want it enough. I don't know what the goal is at Florida. Is it to win the SEC? Is it to get in the mention, the conversation of playing for a national championship? I need to see that. And I love me some 49ers. Nothing but love for the Green Wave. Shout out. But I'm going my Florida football Gators. Go Gators.
Yeah, I got Florida winning this game. I think they coming off the high, beating Tennessee. Got them a little bit of going on the right direction a little bit here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All the way up towards the leading up to that Georgia and Florida game on Halloween weekend.
Right.
Here in Jacksonville. So pretty much just put it on here because of your team. So basically, let's move right along here to the next one.
All right.
Let's do a rapid fire real quick here. Sam Houston versus Houston. Who you got?
Give me them Cougars.
I'll take the Cougars on that one myself. Colorado State at Middle Tennessee. Who you got? Colorado State.
Colorado State is pissed. They're pissed. The death threats, the loss. the mitigating factors. Give me Colorado State.
I got Colorado State too. Arizona and Stanford. Stanford.
Arizona,
the Wildcats versus the Cardinals.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on at Stanford. They forgot about football too and got into technology. So give me Arizona.
You got Arizona on that one. Nichols versus Tulane.
Give me Tulane.
I'm taking Tulane today. Appalachian State goes into Laramie, Wyoming to play Wyoming today at 7 o'clock. Who you got?
Give me App State.
Taking App State too.
App State.
Southern Miss versus Arkansas State.
Southern Miss. No, that's Brett Favre's school, right?
Yeah.
Give me Arkansas State.
I got Arkansas State. On this show, we do not pick Southern Mississippi because of what's going on with the volleyball team, and Brett Favre.
You know why?
Nevada at Texas State. Who you got?
Oh, give me Nevada.
I'm gonna take Texas State because Texas State's been playing outstanding football. UAB, University of Alabama, Birmingham versus number 1 Georgia. Who you got?
I love Trent Dilfer. Love him. But Uga, I need to see better, Kirby. Curbster, show me what you can do. Give me Uga.
I got Georgia too, number 1 Georgia.
Pissed at both of these schools. They could play better. They could do better. They could be better. But no one wants to be the better kid, so I'm going to go with Texas.
I
love me some Austin, baby.
All right, our next game we're going to bring up here is this one. Sam Hartman gets his chance at Ohio State with Notre Dame today. Number 6, Ohio State goes into number 9, Notre Dame at 7:30. This game is on NBC. Of course, NBC is going to pull this game. This is one of the high-profile games that NBC will play with Notre Dame on there. What do you see Sam Hartman doing against this Ohio State defense?
I didn't know he was 24 years old, and I didn't know he had beautiful hair like that. So there's so many things to put in there. And also, if they're going to show the head coach and his family every damn time, do it for the rest of the coaches. Show their family all the damn time. I'm sick of it. Is it about the family or is it about the football program? Show me that. This guy, this game right here, now we can talk about that word Heisman. If Notre Dame, the Golden Domers, go out here and play this game as expected, high level, against the Scarlet, Red, and Gray, this could set things up for Mr. Day in The Ohio State University.
Yeah, I look at this. I look at this thing right now. I think Sam Hartman is a great quarterback, outstanding quarterback. Came out of Wake Forest University with the tremendous power of passing the football. Goes to Notre Dame, has Notre Dame in a total different Notre Dame team from last year.
He's the captain.
Yeah. So, taking on that concept, I think this is a dangerous Notre Dame team with Sam Hartman at quarterback. A very dangerous team. And I think Marcus Freeman has now come into his own with Sam Hartman a little bit, helping him out with that situation. Time will tell what's going to go on. But people are saying 66.1% say that it's going to be Ohio State beating a 33.9% of Notre Dame winning this ball game. I do not doubt Sam Hartman because Hartman is the better quarterback than McCord is for Ohio State. Notre Dame running back is way better than Henderson.
Okay.
Now, right now, the numbers showing it. Both teams are. Well, Notre Dame has played one more game than Ohio State. All right, give it that. But Henderson is only carrying the ball 30 times for 191 yards and 4 touchdowns in 3 games. Eastman, the running back for Notre Dame, has carried the ball 63 times for 521 yards and 5 touchdowns in 4 games.
Okay.
McCord has 815 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's 53 out of 76 passing. Sam Hartman is 64 out of 90 for 1,061 yards and 13 touchdowns. That is a disparity of 7 touchdowns more with no picks.
He is man. He is man.
We know the world of Marvin Harris Jr. has got 14 receptions, 304 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Stay out of car washes.
But Bray, the wide receiver, has 8 receptions, 216 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
So, who's going to give in this one? Can the Notre Dame corner match up with Marvin Harris Jr., or do you try to double team him and have somebody else try to beat you on the receiving core of Ohio State?
Notre Dame defense up front is trying to make a name for itself in the days of the 90s of Notre Dame when Mr. Lou Holtz was there. That's what that defense is trying to do. The offense of Notre Dame is creating something new we've never seen before, in my opinion. If everyone that's played at quarterback in my day show me true definition of leadership, being a transfer at 24 years old, took the role and responsibility right off the bat, but that defense of Notre Dame is going to set the tone today and let the offense play its game instead of going off script.
Yeah, if you look at these total numbers here, I mean, it's not very. I mean, Ohio State is averaging 474.7 yards per game to Notre Dame's 508.8 yards. You want to break it all down. Ohio State's passing is 318 yards per game to 156.7 yards per game rushing, and Notre Dame's break that 508.8 down to 304.3 for passing, 204.5 yards rushing per game for Ohio State. Defense is not too far off for both teams. Ohio State's defense is averaging 223 yards, 0.7, giving up to 234.3 for Notre Dame. But the different aspect is Ohio State rushing is only giving up 83.3 yards rushing. They're going up against a person that actually is rushing the ball 204.5 yards a game. So what's going to give in this? Was Notre Dame's rushing attack going to give, or will the defense give to the Notre Dame rushing attack, and then they start wearing them down at the end? You know, that's going to be the key. The trajectory is Notre Dame wants to run the ball. Notre Dame can pass the ball, so don't take that mistake of them running the ball and not being able to pass the ball. They got Sam Hartman back there who can pass it, is capable of passing that ball and carrying the team because he carried Wake Forest without a rushing attack. So
what's the biggest thing that brings everything together in a relationship? Trust. What's the biggest thing that breaks up a relationship? Trust. Notre Dame has trust. Sam came in there and built that trust up right off the bat. The only thing about the Ohio State, we usually talk about how can you take control of this game, different sides of the ball. Offensively, we say rattle the quarterback. Unlike any other school, if you rattle Mr. Day, that's it right there. You frustrate him, you got the game. It's not about rattling the players. It's about rattling Mr. Day. The moment he gets upset, that's it. Pull the cards, everybody go home. Reggie done messed it up for everybody. Party over with.
If you look at the start of
what's that?
If you look at the start of the season for Ohio State, they beat Indiana 23-3. Then they beat Youngstown State 35-7. They beat Western Kentucky 63-10. But look at Notre Dame here. Notre Dame beat Tennessee State 56-3. They had a game against North Carolina State. They pulled away at the end 45-24. And then they beat Central Michigan 41-17. So.
Okay, but I know what you're saying, the competition. But at the same time, a transfer taken right over, just like with Shador. Look at what they did. Sam came in there like he's been there 10 years. Look at the throws. Look at the patience. Look at the camaraderie. And what I said earlier, trust.
Yep.
They have the trust tree.
And if you're looking at this, today game is at 7:30 p.m. It's on NBC. It's at Notre Dame Stadium in Notre Dame, Indiana. Game time temperature is 71 degrees, but it's going to be rainy. They're calling for rain. Ohio State's favored by 3 points. The over and under is 55.5 by the Caesar Sportsbook. 80,795 people are going to be in the stands today at Notre Dame. Who you taking?
Rudy. He's 5'0", 100. One day I'm gonna run out that tunnel and bring our team on the field, Dad.
Yeah, I got Notre Dame pulling that upset there too. So
Notre Dame. Would it be an upset though?
No, not really.
You're right. I can't call this an upset.
No, I can't either. Because number 6 versus number 9.
Yeah, that's not an upset. We knew she had a fat ass. What's the big deal?
So, we got that straightened out. Number 24, Iowa Hawkeyes goes into Happy Valley to play number 7 Penn State Nittany Lions today. Nittany Lions got their ship rolling right now. They revenged that loss from last year against Illinois last week. Not really a contest of what I thought it was going to be. It was a totally different contest.
You let me down.
Because did Ron Franklin got a team now that is capable of winning the Big Ten this year?
Michael Keenan, yeah, he does. He does. But somehow he lost that camaraderie. Something happened. Because I don't see that connection and love as they used to show us through TV. How they doing Notre Dame coach. They used to do that for him. So something happened along the way to school. If they can get back to the expectation of the Nittany Lions, I think they can play Nittany Lion football. This game scares me because if Penn State loses this game, all hope is lost in Happy Valley. But give me Penn State.
Now, you look at this game situation here, you got the Michigan transfer quarterback in McNamara for Iowa, who is now, get this, who is now passing the ball more than they are rushing the ball. Get the concept here, you know. Iowa's more of a rushing control game.
Yeah.
But
it's okay to mix it up though.
But you got the ongoing LR for Penn State, who is 59 out of 88, 737 yards and 4 touchdowns. But Allen, the running back, has over 208 yards and 2 touchdowns in 3 games. So, I mean, this is a contrary of looking at this thing right here. But what gets me is Lambert Smith, the wide receiver for Penn State, is 13 receptions, 220 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
Iowa's leading receivers only has 10 catches for 131 yards. But their running back, Leonard Williams, is 19 carries for 164 yards. So, Iowa is a balanced team of 150.7 yards passing to 151.3 yards rushing, gives them about 302 yards. Penn State's averaging 467.3 yards total offense, 259.0 yards passing to 208 yards.3 yards rushing. But Penn State's defense is 267.3 to 286 total defense. Okay. Penn State's got a better defense than Iowa does. And every number, the number supports it. 179.3 yards passing for Iowa defense given up to 165.3 for Penn State. 106.7 yards rushing for Iowa given up to 102 rushing for Penn State. So,
okay.
If you look at the contest here in this thing here, if you want to go to the season, it's going to be 68 degrees in Happy Valley. It's going to be raining conditions. That kind of favors both teams. It does not favor Iowa no more. It favors both teams can run the ball.
We both know about the running and defense situation. Go ahead.
And then Caesar's Books got Penn State favored by 14, and over-under is 37.5. And it's going to be 106,000 people, 572 there.
Under. Okay. Sellout crowd?
Sellout crowd.
We
Happy
both
Valley.
like the defense matchup in this situation, I do believe.
Yep.
Low-scoring game. Weather's going to be a factor. Turnovers and penalties, high. I'm going with Penn State in this one. I think they need this.
I got Penn State too.
All
right, let's do a little bit of speed round real quick here. Akron versus Indiana.
Gary, Indiana, Indy, Gary. What's a Hoosier? Who's your daddy? Give me Indiana.
I got Indiana too. Memphis at Missouri.
Talking about people here in St. Louis going to the game, tailgate down at the Dome. MIZ. ZOU in Mizzou. Because I got my dude, Luther Burden.
He's not there no more. He transferred.
Yeah, he is.
Are you still there?
He's still there.
Oh, damn. I thought he left.
Yeah.
I thought he was a senior.
No. Luther Burton's still there.
All right, Minnesota coming off the loss to North Carolina versus Northwestern that came off a loss against Duke. Who you got?
Is it Minnesota against Northwestern?
Yep.
Okay, give me Minnesota. Give me them Gophers.
I'm going to take Minnesota. I think they bounce back from that. Mississippi State at South Carolina.
Mississippi State. Give me South Cackalack in the building.
You think it's South? I'm gonna take Mississippi State on this one.
Mississippi State.
Buffalo at Louisiana.
Give me Louisiana. Get them onions. Give me old Louisiana tea while I'm down there.
Yeah, I'll take them too. All right, number 17, North Carolina at Pittsburgh. This is my game here.
And I was going to break down, but we're running a little bit short of time because we don't want to keep everybody from the first game of the thing. So let's talk about this game just a tad, a little bit. Pittsburgh in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. 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 Holding on to the ball too long. I don't think it's the offensive line or the protection. I think it's taking too long for the play to develop. So if they can pick up on that, maybe it's some outs, some curls before you try to, hit your go routes. Keep the game simple. Don't overhype yourself going off of last year's performance. But I like Carolina in this matchup. Sometimes you like that though. Sometimes you want that. Mhm. Okay. Right. He said backdoor, not me. He did. Um, that's the thing. That's why I kind of like the concept. When you don't have a star receiver, everybody knows he's getting the ball. He's getting the ball. This makes the defense more humble because now we got to cover the receiving core no matter what. Everybody stay home. Don't double team anybody. Don't do it. That's why I like you never know who's going to show up. It makes you stay ready. If not, touchdown. Okay. Right. Where's this game being played at? In Durham? Hinesville. Mm. Hmm. You better. I mean, that's your squad. It's your squad. I like Carolina. I just want May to calm down. We know you can throw the ball. We know you can read a defense. We know you know what you're doing. Go do it. Okay. Give me UCF. Give me James Madison. Give me some unloved. University of North Nevada, Las Vegas. Until somebody tells me differently, USC. Aaron Rodgers in California, so give me California. Fresno State. Bulldog. Give me Hawaii. 6 a.m. Now this time you pop the pier. 6 a.m. Yay! Get up. 808 in the building. Colorado. Auburn. Auburn and the Alabama game. Yeah. Be safe. Okay. There it is. There it is. All right, buddy. West Kentucky. Tulsa. Jacksonville State. Louisville. Oregon State. Damn. UTEP. How many games is it? Shit. BYU. You too, my man.
Yeah, I got the show right there for you, bro. Look at that. All right, man.
All right.
Yeah, have a good one.
All right, you too.
See you later.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're out in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.